Hello and welcome. Carrie here from Healing Humanity, the power of a proper human diet. And I'm thankful, grateful, blessed you're joining me tonight. I've got some excellent carnivore power tips I want to share with everyone. I do a members only live stream once a week, and there's quite a few members I see are jumping on right now. Hello. Thank you, members. I really appreciate you. We did members only live stream the other day where I came up with my top 15 carnivore power tips. I have been doing the carnivore diet now for 530 days, and I'm absolutely thriving. I'll give it to you real quick because there's always people on here that are new. Some of you are probably sick of hearing it. I'm down over 100 pounds since my heaviest. I overcame depression, anxiety. I'm off all of this medication. I'm on zero medication right now. I no longer snore. I don't have IBS. My stomach doesn't hurt anymore. No longer depressed, no longer anxious, and I no longer have gout in my foot, and I reversed my congestive heart failure on a proper human diet. It's changed my life forever. I'm doing a documentary about it. Just hit 530 days doing it. Doing something for 530 days, you start to learn things I wish I knew on day one of being a carnivore, things that are very valuable. And there's a lot of new people that are out there that I get in the comments all the time that could benefit from some of these things. So I want to share my top 10 carnivore power tips, but I want to hear from you in the audience. And you know, I had my 10, and on Thursday, every Thursday, we do a members only live stream, 3 p.m. Central. If anyone here is interested in joining, it's like $3 a month to join that. And every penny goes to the documentary. So I thank my members a whole bunch. You can click the join button if you want to do that. If you don't want to do it, that's great too. My members are awesome, though. They've given me so many good ideas, and I had all these great ideas, or I thought I did, and then they gave me some better ones. So I'm going to share some of the tips that the members came up with on our members only live stream as well. I got some good stuff here, some valuable stuff that I wish I knew when I first started. We got a couple of people jumping on. Let me know where you're from and what did you eat today. I'll start. I am from Montello, Wisconsin. I'm in the world famous Montello Theater right now. I just opened the theater up with the girls. We're playing a movie overhead right now. I'm thankful, grateful, blessed for that. It is such a amazing blessing being able to run this small town movie theater and keep the tradition alive. Today I ate, let me think. I ate a half of cold ribeye that I cooked up, I think on Monday. It's been sitting in the fridge, sliced it up. I like my ribeye cold. Call me crazy. Prior to doing carnivore, I would have thought that was disgusting, but I like it warm, like fresh off the grill, smoked is incredible. But I used to cook my steaks very, very rare, my extra steaks that I would cook on subsequent days. And then I'd warm them up in the air fryer, bring them up to temperature because you're kind of recooking them at that point. Never a huge fan of that. And now I cook them to the perfect temperature. I eat one of them warm. And then the next two for the subsequent days, I throw in the fridge. I slice them up cold, sprinkle some salt on, and they are absolutely incredible. Cold steak. That's what I had today. I had a half a cold ribeye, and then I had 6 burger patties later. I was hungry today. I put in a new garbage disposal and did some home improvement stuff at the house today. The movie theaters, the air conditioner was leaking water, so doing lots of projects, but it ain't nothing for a carnivore. So that is where I'm from, Montello. I had ribeye and burger patties today. Let me know in the comments where you're from and what you're eating. And then I'm going to jump into my top 10 carnivore power tips. I want to share one other thing with you guys. We are doing a huge meetup here at the world famous Montello Theater right above my head. October, let me double check and make sure I get the date right, 12th. October 12th, Dr. Robert Kiltz himself is going to be here at the Montello Theater, and there's going to be some energy. I'll share it on the screen here. There's going to be some energy in the building when Dr. Kiltz is here. I absolutely love this man. I wanted to just have him stream on the big screen because I didn't want to ask too much of him, and he's such a kind individual. He agreed to come all the way out here. So we're doing an Inspiring Carnivore Stories meetup at Montello Theater, and it's $10 a ticket. Every penny goes towards the documentary. I was going to do it for free. If you can't afford the $10 and you really want to go, just email me and I will get you hooked up. The reason we're charging $10 is I did it for free. We did an earlier meetup here, and a whole bunch of people just snatched up extra tickets thinking maybe my brother will come, maybe my friend will come. And we ended up having open seats because people would take 5 tickets but only use 1. So that was one of the reasons we're charging. The other reason is there's good value here. Dr. Kiltz is coming in. This isn't just a meetup, just meet and greet. This is a little mini carnivore conference, if you will. Dr. Kiltz is going to speak about his carnivore story. Nia from Nia's Way, she's got an awesome YouTube channel. She's going to share her story. My excellent and very good friend JT and Anna, Poco Moonshine family. I don't know if you've seen those two. Oh my goodness, you're not going to recognize them. They have lost an incredible amount of weight, but overcome so many health issues on a carnivore diet. They're going to share their story live in front of everybody. And I was just talking to my daughter, Emma, as we were getting the movie theater going upstairs. I said, Emma, do you want to speak in front of the whole audience? 150 seats in Montello Theater. Do you want to stand up in front of everybody and share your carnivore story? Emma's over a year on carnivore. And I didn't think she'd want to, but she said, yeah, I'll do it. So Emma's going to share her story as well in front of the big screen. So people are asking, are we going to live stream this? I'm not sure what we're going to do. I don't think we're going to live stream it. I think maybe we'll record parts of it. We'll have to see. One of the reasons I don't want to live stream it is, spoiler alert, but I'm not going to give it away. You really want to come to this event. We're going to show something on the screen. We're going to have a little surprise that we can't share with the whole public. So a little something special extra for folks that are willing to come out. And I'm excited for that. Really excited for Dr. Kiltz. Then we're going to end it with a Q&A at the end with Dr. Kiltz. So Dr. Kiltz is like the main speaker, the main event. He's going to share his incredible carnivore story, what he's learned as a physician, a fertility expert, open for Q&A at the end with Dr. Kiltz and everyone in the audience as well. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you have any carnivore power tips, and I'll share some of those with you. I'm going to share my first, and then I want to share something else that I think will be helpful for you guys, something that I recently read. But first, today's video is sponsored by, no, I'm just joking. I bought this with my own money. Not a sponsorship, but this is, for those that want to know, I'm not drinking a Corona or beer right now. This is just straight up mineral water in a glass bottle. Cheers to everyone. This is my tradition. Every time I do a live stream, I treat myself to a little glass of carbonated mineral water. Fantastic. All right, without further ado, I'm going to give you my first one. And for the members here that were on the members only live stream, I'm sorry, there's going to be just a little bit of repeat, but then I'm going to get into the new stuff. I didn't even get into this on the members only live stream. I had 15 of these carnivore power tips, and the members were bringing better ones than I had. And I'm going to share some of those too. But my first carnivore power tip is this. And this isn't just if I was talking to myself when I started carnivore 530 days ago. It's for my former self. It's for everyone that's just starting this right now. This is my best advice I can give you right now. And in order of priority, my biggest advice I would give to you is, if you are going to do a proper human diet, if you are going to do carnivore, do it. 100% do carnivore. Don't say I'm going to do carnivore and then keep your Diet Coke and keep your blueberries and your raspberries and your strawberries and a little bit of avocado here and a little bit of that there. You can certainly incorporate those things back in there. I'm not judging if anyone is doing that, but I get so many people that come to me and they say, I started carnivore and they're a month into it and they're struggling with cravings still. And I'm like, that's not right. And every single time I investigate more, I find out that although they say they're doing strict carnivore, they're still drinking Diet Coke. Sure, Diet Coke, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, but it's got fake sugar in it. And if I were to have a Diet Coke 30 days into carnivore or 530 days into carnivore like I am today, I would have cravings. My brain can't tell the difference between fake, artificial, manufactured sugar or real sugar. It would confuse my body. So that is one of my biggest tips to people that are going to do carnivore. I hate it when I see people doing this and then they're struggling. You're going to struggle. Don't get me wrong. The first 2 weeks when you're overcoming your sugar addiction and you're purging out all of these toxins and you're converting your body from burning that horrible junk sugar and carbohydrates to burning fat for fuel, you may suffer a little bit. Some people, it's kind of a breeze for, but a lot of people, they end up on the toilet. They end up with keto flu. They end up with headaches. Once you get through that, though, it should be smooth sailing. And for a lot of people, it's not. So that's my biggest number one tip. Think of how long your life is and for how long you ate the standard American diet and junk food and garbage and food that your body was never intended to process. 30 days, if you're going to commit to 30 days, I'd recommend 60, but if you're going to commit to 30 days, that is a flash in the pan, a blink of an eye in terms of the grand scheme of your entire life. It is a little fraction of a fraction of a fraction of time. For 30 days, you can do anything, and you can do strict carnivore for 30 days without Diet Coke or Coke Zero or artificial sweeteners or berries or fruit. 30 days, strict elimination diet, and then maybe work some of the berries or avocado if you want back in. At least if you tell yourself that and you go 30 days, you're going to know what it feels like to be a proper human. Or if you can do 180 days or 60 days or whatever. I recommend 60 days, but I'll tell you what, there's a magical thing that happens on carnivore around week 3 for a lot of people. And it's something to do with your gut bacteria. It's something I've been learning more from my friend Malia, who I had on my channel the other day. I'm doing another video with her, by the way, because I want to learn even more. And I'm purchasing some books because I'm trying to do more research on this whole gut bacteria thing. But when you go carnivore, it starts fixing your gut bacteria, your good gut bacteria. And right around 3 weeks, this is some science here, there is some gut bacteria that dies off. And people start to notice this thing where it's like, whoa, something's going on here. Not that your depression goes completely away or your anxiety goes completely away, but it touches it a little bit and your mood improves and you feel a little bit different. You get a taste of feeling what it feels like to be a proper human. And a lot of the inflammation starts going down. So I always encourage people, because some people can wrap their brain around 30 days where they can't, maybe 60 or 90 days. But if you go strict to that 30-day mark, you're going to start feeling things and you're going to want to continue. I don't know how many people say, I'm going to go 30 days. I said it myself. On day 31, I'm going to go back to moderation. I'm going to start bringing things back. And by day 30, I felt so incredible. I'm like, why would I mess with perfection? I feel absolutely incredible. I stopped snoring. My depression, anxiety starting to lift. My inflammation in my back is going down that I thought was going to hurt me my whole life. Why would I go back? So that is my power tip number 1. I'm starting to see some tips come in. Yeah, if you could put the word tip in all caps, it'll help me see it because there's a lot of comments coming through right now. I really appreciate you all. Put the word tip in caps and I'll make sure I won't miss it. But I want to read every one of these tips that you guys share as well. So let me see here real quick. I'm going to start. I'm a solo team right now. This is hard to manage all this. So, okay, I think I got the ones that say tip, tip, tip. If you put one and I missed it, can you please put it again with the word tip next to it? Thank you so much. Tip number 2 from me. Fat is your friend. As Dr. Kiltz told me, it should be called fativore, not carnivore. This isn't a diet just about eating meat. If you ate chicken breast for 530 days, I'd probably die. I need fat. You need fat to thrive. Fat is the fuel your body runs on. It's not just about eating meat. And there's a lot of people, again, I'm trying to give advice to people that are just starting carnivore or that are brand new. There's a lot of people that start and they think, any animal product's fine. I'll just eat chicken breast the entire time. And you're not going to get enough fat and you're going to suffer because of it. It's all about fat. And if you don't have a taste for fat, or you have a meat aversion or a fat aversion when you first start, baby steps, baby steps. The other tip, this is a sub tip to number 2, the kind of fat matters. Rendered melted fat hurts some people's stomach, including mine. It doesn't really hurt it, but I end up in the bathroom more often. When I first started carnivore, I melted butter in a little bowl and I dipped my steak in it. And I was having shrimp then too. I did steak and shrimp. That was my first meal on carnivore. I dipped it in the butter and I ate it. And then I was consuming more melted butter. That would put me in the bathroom a little bit more often than I would like. Bella, huge shout out. Bella's incredible. And congratulations to Bella and Max. They got married. That is absolutely incredible. I got to hang out with them down in Austin. Absolutely lovely couple, individual. I'm so happy for them. Bella did an awesome video about butter. So go check out Bella's channel. But if you eat butter cold, it doesn't seem to upset my stomach. If I melt that same butter and consume it, I'm in the bathroom more. So when I have a steak that doesn't have a lot of fat on it, or if I were to have chicken breast, I just don't do chicken breast at all. My wife does. But if I were to do chicken breast or a lean cut of steak, I'd cut a little pat of butter and I'd take a pat of butter and a piece of steak or a piece of chicken and I would eat it that way. That's what I would do it. So the rendered fat, melted fat affects people differently. I got to stop rambling, but the last thing I'll say on fat, if you have a fat aversion, give it time and give it baby steps and supplement, like do butter and things like that until you get to the fat. There will come a time when your body, a switch goes off and you'll start craving that fat. Even right now, you think there's no way I'll ever crave it. It's weird. It'll happen. I've seen it happen over and over again. I mentioned my sister before who didn't like ribeyes, fatty ribeyes, a couple months into doing carnivore. She's over a year now too, by the way, my sister Melissa. Couple months into carnivore, she called me and she said it happened. I'm like, what happened? Did you quit carnivore? She's like, no, I have a craving for fatty ribeyes now, and she's eating fat and she's eating ribeyes now. It just takes a while, and then the body will start preferring that. So that was my tip number 2. I'm gonna go with my tip number 3, and then I'm gonna read because there's some tips piling in here right now. This is my third best tip I can give to anyone on carnivore. If you're doing a proper human diet, carnivore diet, and you're stalling out, first of all, realize you're probably not stalling out. Your body's probably healing. You're probably losing inches. We gain muscle, we lose fat, and it doesn't show on the scale. We change our body composition. Our bone density changes. Our composition of our body changes, and we're getting less fat. We're getting more muscle, and things like that start to happen, and you look on the scale and nothing happened, but you actually had progress. You have to measure yourself. I never did it. I'm a hypocrite. I tell people to measure, and I never did it. Jen is running into the same thing. My buddy Bill, the same thing. People say, I'm not losing weight. And that's because they're looking on the scale, and the scale is a big jerk. The scale is a stupid jerk, and it'll lead you down the wrong road. Now, you could potentially stall out where you're not losing weight and you're not losing inches, but your body is probably healing something else. The body is so intelligent. It's so smart. That's the biggest thing I've learned doing this documentary, Healing Humanity, Power of a Proper Human Diet. It is incredible. The human body is absolutely a miracle without a doubt. Anyone that tells you anything else is foolish. The human body is incredible what it does, and it will prioritize healing. So if there's something wrong in your body that needs healing, it's going to heal before you lose more weight. The last thing I'll say on the subject, though, is if you are legitimately stalled out for months and months, and if you're like, I've been doing carnivore for 300 days, and for 100 days, I haven't lost an inch, and I haven't lost a pound, and I'm just stuck, change things up. That is my third tip. Change things up. If you are in a true stall, change things up. Our bodies get into these routines, and I'll give you 3 examples of how to change things up. If you're doing carnivore like I did, beef, butter, bacon, eggs, do Lion Diet for 3 days. I'm not saying you have to commit to Lion Diet for your whole life. I tell people do Lion Diet. They're all like, oh my God, how can I do this? It's really not that big of a deal. If you're doing beef, butter, bacon, eggs, I'm just suggesting for 3 days, just do beef, salt, and water. You're already doing beef probably as your primary energy source, the beef and the fat. Cut out the butter and the eggs for 3 days, and almost inevitably, the weight will start to drop off. I've heard it so many times in the comments, and I've experienced it myself. If you're already doing Lion and you're stalling out, then something weird might be going on there. Maybe try a little bit of fasting, or maybe go see your doctor. Maybe you got to get your thyroid checked or get something else checked, or there's something else going on there. But don't go months and months and months if you are in a true stall. But also, you got to realize you're probably, the majority of people that claim they're in a stall aren't in a stall. They're still losing inches, or their body is healing. Last thing, sorry. Sub point, cheese. If you're stalled out for a while, it's cheese. I guarantee you it's cheese. I've heard it 1,000 times on my channel now. I'm stalled out. I say, do you eat cheese? They say yes. 1,000 people in the comments say, yep, cheese stalls me every single time. Quit the cheese and it'll go away. I haven't had any cheese in 530 days. I'm not judging anyone that's eating cheese, but quit it. Or at the very least, just try quitting it for 2 weeks and see how you feel. Or at the very, very least, try quitting it for 2 weeks and then commit to yourself, I'm only going to use cheese as a condiment, like on a burger. I'm not going to eat it as a snack, because people end up inevitably overeating cheese. There's lots of stuff that cheese messes up in our bodies. I've heard it 1,000 times now. Just trust me. Cut the cheese out. You'll feel better too. All right, I'm going to take some comments here. Hopefully, I don't miss too many. I'm going to try to go quicker here because there's a lot of comments. 340 of you are on here. Thank you so much. Hey, before I jump into the comments, I got to do a shout out real quick. I do not get paid a penny to promote this. I do not want a penny. I don't even have a link in the description, but if you guys want to get a good book, The Vegetarian Myth by Lear Keith, my awesome daughter, Emma, who's been carnivore for over a year, who was vegan for 5 years and then went on carnivore. She's been carnivore for over a year now. Joined me, and we both interviewed Lear Keith, the author of this book. She was on Dr. Barry's channel. Spoiler alert, she's going to be in the documentary Healing Humanity. This book is incredible. Emma read it on the plane to Alaska. Again, I don't get anything for promoting this. I just like to promote things that I think will help other people. If you have any concerns whatsoever about being cruel to animals or wanting to do what's best for the planet, or you've got blood on your hands because you're eating meat and vegans are better than you, I highly recommend reading this book. It's very, very well done. Oh, and the other book I'm going to shout out real quick, my buddy Lynn. Lynn wrote this along with Amy D. This is Superhuman Superfoods for Humanity, comic and activity books. This is so cool. My biggest motivation for doing the documentary is not adults. There's a lot of adults suffering, but what about our children? What about the most vulnerable in our society? If I could do one thing differently in my life, it would go back and feed my children a proper human diet from birth. This book is made for children. It's got, there's some educational things in here. There's activities, and it teaches them about what are the proper human foods they could be eating. Some of the proceeds, not all of the proceeds, but some of the proceeds for this go to support our documentary. The rest go to support the two awesome authors. I did put a link in the description for this, or you can just go on Amazon and search for Superhuman Power Foods for Humanity. This would make an awesome, it's really well done too. You got color pages, you got coloring pages, but then you've got colored illustration, nice glossy illustrations. It's really awesome. Lynn did a heck of a job on that. So, all right, we got a lot to cover, so I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to check out some tips that you guys sent. Dan Kiwi, he's a member. Thank you, Dan, so much. If you're not sure you're hungry, then you're not really hungry. When you're truly hungry, you'll know you want a steak. Great tip, Dan. It's true. And if you feel like you have a craving or you're hungry and you can't eat, look at your watch and look 30 minutes and tell yourself, I'm going to check if I'm still hungry in 30 minutes. And almost inevitably, you will not be hungry. If it's one of those weird cravings, 30 minutes, it will go away. Otherwise, maybe you're hungry and you need more fat. A lot of people that are hungry or have cravings, it's because they're not consuming enough fat. And just like I said on tip number 2, it should be called fativore. If you're eating plenty of fat, you're not going to get cravings or hungry. If you get cravings or hungry when you first start carnivore, bacon, 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 have some bacon ready to go in the fridge, snack on some bacon, the craving will go away. Lisa C., another awesome member. Tip, store bones in freezer, then make bone broth in the Instant Pot. Wonderful tip. I'm going to rip my tips up again. I have 7 more that I didn't share, but I don't think we're even going to need them. My friend Mimi in South Carolina, who's in the documentary, she does this. She taught me how to do this. She has bone broth. I think she has it every single day. I think she makes it every week and has it for the week. She makes new bone broth. It's one of the best things for you. You have some of that bone broth. It is full of all the rich goodness, nutrients. It's good stuff. It is good stuff. I don't think there's anything better for you. And it's just great having like a warm liquid, almost like a soup or a stew, wintertime. So easy to do in an Instant Pot too. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you can do it in a slow cooker as well. Agnes Lim So Churn. Hi, Carrie and whole carnivore team. I really wish this was available in Singapore. We are keto carnivore family. Oh, good for you. We feel like we are alone. You're not alone. There's lots of you out there all around the world. No tribe, nothing. A lot of skepticism from people. Agnes, my best advice is join some groups. And I'm not saying that to try to get you to pay money. There's free groups on Facebook you can join. My wife Jen and I have a group called Return to Natural. We talk about carnivore in there and we talk about returning to what's natural, but Meat Sisters is a free group. There's a lot of free groups that you can join. And if you're willing to pay for a group, Bella Steak and Butter Gang has an excellent group. We're putting together a Healing Humanity membership site as well. That's at healinghumanity.life. But you're right. You feel alone. We're living in a world where we're kind of the odd ones out. That is changing, though, by the way. I am hearing so many people doing a proper human diet now. They're coming out of the woodwork. But being able to be in a group with like-minded individuals is so important. So join a group. There, you may be alone in your community, but not in your online community. There's a lot of people out there. Susan Lydia, thank you so much. Susan's awesome. Tip, I think people stop because their why is not as strong. Very good point. You have to have a why to do this. A lot of people have a foolish why, in my opinion. They want to drop 15 pounds or something. Then they do a proper human diet and they realize everything else changes. The brain fog goes away. The depression goes away. These aches and pains that had become normal go away. They didn't even realize they had them. But then people start feeling better and foolishly, they say, I'm better now. I can go back to moderation. And I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. You cannot moderate an addiction. Most of humanity is addicted to sugar and the standard American diet. And sugar comes in all forms, but most starches and carbs and fruits that you eat that have fructose in them, that converts to glucose in our body. It all converts back to sugar. I cannot moderate in a sugar addiction, so I will never go back into moderation. My why switched. I lost 100 pounds since my heaviest. I overcame depression, anxiety, gout went away, sleep apnea went away. So I'm like, I'm fixed. The natural tendency to, after you're being fixed, is to no longer have a why. My why is settled. So why do I continue doing this? You have to shift your why to the long term. My long-term why is I want to grow old with my wife. My long-term why is I want to be a grandparent for my grandchildren. My long-term why is I don't want to get cancer and dementia and Alzheimer's and mobility issues when I'm 60 years old. It is a tragedy what is going on in the world right now with our senior citizens. These people work their entire lives. They should have a nice retirement. And what do? They work their entire lives and they go into a prison. They're have mobility issues and they're arthritic and they're bent over and they're using walkers, and we're dying younger and younger. We're not even making it into our late 70s. The average life expectancy in the United States is like 73. It's pathetic. We should be living to be 100. So I encourage people that are watching this, have your immediate why, but think about your long-term why. We're so immediate and myopic and we're just looking at the here and the now. Think about your long-term why. Think about living a long and healthy and prosperous life without diseases and aches and pains and ailments. And look around in the world at the poor senior citizens that are suffering right now needlessly. And it's all just from the foods they're eating. I guarantee you. It's not, they want to say, oh, old aging, this sucks. This is horrible. I'm old and I can barely walk. But the majority of that, part of that is getting old. I will admit that. But the majority of that is inflammation and eating the wrong foods and having chronic systemic inflammation for years and years and decades and decades. And chronic inflammation leads to arthritis. It leads to mobility issues. It leads to cancer, dementia, and Alzheimer's. My long-term why is growing old with my spouse, my wife. I encourage everyone to think about that as well. Leah, aloha. Tip, every time I had a craving for anything, I would eat brown butter bites. We talked about that on the members only the other day. I got to do that again. My mom made those for me. I don't think Jen's tried them. Almost my whole family's doing the proper human diet right now. I got to make some more of those. They were incredible. Tip from Dan Kiwi, if you think you're hungry, have a pinch of salt and see if you're hungry after that. That's another great tip. Speaking of great tips from the members, I am going to recap a tip. I think this was from my buddy Chris Stearns, or maybe Aunt B. I'm sorry if I'm getting this one wrong. Just to give full credit where due, this was one of my amazing members gave this tip, and I absolutely love it. The tip is this. If you get a craving or urge to eat, say, junk food, say you're driving past a Dunkin' Donuts or a McDonald's or a Pizza Hut, or you smell some popcorn or some food, or you're getting a craving for some ice cream. This is what my member did and suggested to us, and I love this tip. They say the word poison. Every single time they drive past the Dunkin' Donuts the next day, they say the word poison, and they say it out loud. They said they kept saying it out loud, and after a while, they say it in their head. This sounds kind of silly, doesn't it? It's actually brilliant. It is brilliant. Why is it brilliant? Because our human brains get into these stupid, foolish social norms. We have these neural pathways in our brain. They're like trenches that get deeper and deeper and deeper. And every time you eat that sugar and you get that little drug fix, that little rush, ooh, I get that sugar rush, that path gets a little deeper. So it's hard to break. And when you go carnivore and you go past the Dunkin' Donuts or something that you used to crave, that pathway is still there. You can change that pathway though. And one of the ways to change it is like with a mantra. And saying that's poison over and over again, you're paving a new neural pathway in your brain. And it works. This stuff, it sounds crazy, but it works. I just naturally on carnivore realized I am so thankful right now. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. I was suffering for so long. And that in some way or another, I didn't even set out to say, I need a mantra. This is going to be my mantra. I just noticed I kept saying it and thinking it, and you manifest the things you say over and over again. And now every day, multiple times a day, I say either aloud, I say on this live stream, or I say to myself, I'm so thankful, grateful, and blessed. Because I am. And the more I say that, the more it becomes. I'm like more blessed and I'm more blessed. It's the same thing with saying poison when you have a craving. You're retraining your brain. It's a huge thing. For decades and decades, a lot of us were addicted to this stuff, and we have these deep neural pathways. So it could take a long time to do that, but it's something we can actively work on. I encourage everyone to do that. Poison, poison, poison. Every time that's what that stuff is. That's not even exaggeration or hyperbole. That is the truth. If I were to go out and eat an ice cream from McDonald's right now, first of all, it's not even ice cream. There's 26 ingredients that I can't pronounce. I would get sick. I would literally get sick right now. So poison, poison, poison. Train your brain to say that. And at some point, you'd be like, I don't want that poison anymore. I love that tip. Huge shout out to my members for that one. It's really big. I was talking to Bill about that too the other day, because Bill in Alaska is doing incredible. A lot of you know we went to film him for Healing Humanity. 1 year later, the man is down 260 pounds. The only flaw the guy has is he's too darn hard on himself. He's like, but you're down 260. He's like, I should really be down 275 at this point. And that's all he focuses on. I'm like, Bill, have some grace. What you did is incredible. You're down 260 pounds. Plus you overcame depression and anxiety. Plus you freed yourself from being stuck in your house for nearly 5 years. You did all of that, Bill. You should look in the mirror and be proud of yourself. So I'm encouraging Bill, and Bill may be watching this right now, or he's going to watch it later. Bill, you got to get your mantra. We got to come up with a mantra for Bill. Leave it in the comments in the sidebar. Thankful, grateful, blessed. He kind of has his. He says, be kind to one another, but he's got to be kind to himself. That should be his mantra. Look in the mirror, be kind to himself and love himself and embrace what he did, because I truly believe Bill's story all by itself is going to inspire millions of people. And I've said that from the beginning. It's providence. It's stuck in my brain. I believe it with every fiber of my body. His story is so inspirational. He is so inspirational. Having the bravery to do what he did. He's not like a regular YouTuber. Like, you wouldn't know it watching him because the guy's an expert. But he's going out of his comfort zone to do these YouTube videos to inspire other people to find healing. And now he's getting comments and I'm getting comments on my channel. I watched Bill Nodd's video. It saved my life. Bill, you are doing videos and getting out of your comfort zone and inspiring people to the point that multiple people, 5 people told me that before I went to film Bill in Alaska. I'm still getting caught up with the comments and the emails now. 5 people told me they saw a Bill Knott video. It either changed their life forever or it saved their lives. That is a quote. So anyways, I'm going on a tangent now, but Bill's got to get a new neural pathway up there of positivity, because what he's doing is incredible. All right, let's see what else we have here. Patty McInnes. Question: I've gone carnivore keto a few times, but I just find I like beer too much. Advice: sit down and write down beer, positive, and then write down all of the negatives. The things I was talking about earlier. If you have chronic inflammation for most of your life, you're going to end up with cancer, diabetes, dementia, Alzheimer's, cancer. Are you willing to, if you get diagnosed with cancer, say you're 60 years old, and they say you have cancer now, are you going to say, well, that's fine, I like my beer so much? Because look around in the world right now. People in their 40s and 50s are getting cancer. Type 2 diabetes is rampant. It was like never heard of before. 9 out of 10 people have poor metabolic health. What is your long-term why and what is your immediate why? But writing it down, Patty, seriously, writing it down can be very helpful. What if you continue drinking the beer? What's the positive? You get the enjoyment out of the beer. What's the potential negative of doing that? And what is the potential positive if you quit the beer and you start leading a proper human life and you start feeling better? If you write those things down and really make a intentional strategy around it, I think it'll be easier for you to make a decision. Think about your long-term why as well. That might help you also. Susan said the kind of fat matters on how it's presented, melted versus cold. Absolutely. Aunt B, huge shout out. Speaking of books, Aunt B was one of the individuals that suggested that we do a book on all of the testimonials that we're getting through our comments. And huge shout out, I think Stan's in the chat as well. Stan has been putting together a database of comments and we're organizing the comments. This was all from our awesome members. And I'm pretty sure Aunt B with my carnivore brain was the one that came up with this idea. It's happening. Stan, along with my buddy Dan, are putting together this huge database of comments from people from different health issues. I had cancer, I did carnivore. I had type 2 diabetes, I did carnivore. I had fertility issues, I did carnivore. It saved my life. It did this. I'm down 100 pounds. And we're going to put those all into a book. Just I don't know what, we don't have a title yet, but Carnivore Anecdotes. I kind of like the sarcasm in that because I'm so sick of people telling me I'm an anecdote, and I'm literally hearing from thousands and thousands and thousands of people finding incredible healing. But it's going to be a big book full of those things. So huge shout out to Aunt B. Aunt B's tip. OMG, slices of fatty brisket cold. I just discovered this one. Great. Sorry, I got to stop pointing. I'm doing the Dr. Berryfinger a lot today. Great instead of always bacon. Aunt B, you and I are on the same wavelength. I smoked up a brisket about 6 days ago, and I've been eating the brisket all week, and I've been eating it cold, and you are 100% correct. It is so good. Try it. Smoked brisket cold, nice fatty brisket. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be doing more brisket, by the way. I smoked 2 in the last 530 days. I don't know why I'm not doing it more often. This last one I just did is incredible. I'm still eating it too, by the way. Real good value for people that say carnivore is expensive. Yeah, a big brisket's expensive, but when it feeds most of your family and you're eating it day after day after day, good value, good value. Lisa C, tip, grill extra burgers and hot dogs and freeze them for a quick reheat. I haven't done that one yet either. That's a great tip. As Bill Knott says, right? Prepare, prepare, prepare. That's a great way to be prepared too. The thing that we've done with burgers is I've got grass-fed, grass-finished burger patties from my neighbor, and we've gotten them from Costco in the past. If you can't get them locally and independently, which is what I recommend, you can get a big bag of grass-fed, grass-finished burger patties from Costco. You could throw those in the air fryer 4 at the time. I got the girls trained on how to do that. So if dad's not around to fire up the grill, they can make themselves some burger patties real quick. Hey, it's my buddy Carnivore Today, Adam. Got carnivore questions. Get them answered directly by Carrie. Join our beta membership at healinghumanity.life and join our weekly Zoom Q&A call. Use coupon code HH, Healing Humanity, HH24 for 50% off. See you there. Healinghumanity.life. Huge shout out to Adam, Carnivore Today. The documentary wouldn't be where it is without him. He also has an awesome YouTube channel called Carnivore Today. I don't know if you guys saw that last video he did on Ozempic. It is incredible. He had all the good doctors in there. If you know anyone thinking about doing Ozempic, check that out. But to Adam's point, beta membership, we're still testing our membership site, healinghumanity.life. I'm in there every day. I'm absolutely loving it. There's going to be courses in there. There's going to be experts in there. We have a whole section. What differentiates us from the other groups out there is inspiring content. We're trying to bring the inspiration in our membership site. But there's also some really cool courses we're putting together and just an awesome community. There's so many groups in there. We've just got some people in there testing it out for beta, and it's been awesome. So anyone wants to get in on that, you get 50% off right now. Not for long. It's filling up quick. HH24 is the code, healinghumanity.life. And we got a new member. Adam Solar is a new member. Thank you so much. Every penny from memberships goes 100% to our Carnivore Diet documentary. Did you guys see the picture of Bill Knott? Hands in the air. I cannot wait to share this documentary with the world. And it's going to inspire so many people. And I'm not patting myself on the back. It's Bill's story, Jeff's story, Mimi's story, Maggie's story. All of these individuals. We filmed 30 interviews now for Healing Humanity. If you guys are new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, healinghumanity.movie is our website. If you're interested in donating, it's donate.healinghumanity.movie. We also have a dedicated YouTube channel, Healing Humanity Movie on YouTube, and we're posting a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff there as well. But I truly believe these stories need to be told, and I'm so thankful that we got Bill's story, and now it's a year later, and we have a full year of Bill. And his testimony in the documentary, his pure truth and reaction at Hatcher's Pass in Alaska. I can't wait to share that with you in our documentary. All right, I gotta get back to these. I need someone to help me moderate these comments. This is going nuts here. Okay, I'm gonna go back to those comments. Let me go back to one of mine here. My number five comment, and I'm gonna go back to some member. Again, if you're leaving a tip, please we'll put the word tip in front of it so I can see it because I'm getting buried. TTT for tips or tip for tips, whatever you want, as long as help me see it a little bit easier. Okay, so let me get caught up here. Number 5, The word I hate worst in the world, I touched on this a little bit before, but never fall for this trap. When you tell people you're doing a carnivore diet, you're on week 2 or whatever, they're going to say to you, can't you just eat in moderation? I hate that. I hate that. Oh my goodness. Can't you just eat a balanced diet? No, we cannot. 60,000 products in the grocery store, 99%, almost every product. You could walk through with a blindfold and go like this for hours and hours, and every product you would grab has sugar in it, or seed oils, or a sugar alternative, or an artificial sugar. You cannot moderate an addiction. And the reason you watching this right now, listen to me, I'm talking to you. How many times have you yo-yo dieted throughout your life? You probably can't even keep track. Think of how much weight you've gained and lost over your life. I like to think about that for myself. Personally, I think I probably have a world record. People watch my YouTube channel 8 years ago and they're like, you weren't that big. And I say, look 4 months later. Whoa, you were pretty big. Look 4 months later, because it was up and down yo-yoing. The entire reason I yo-yo dieted for over a decade and lost and gained hundreds of pounds over and over again is because of that stupid word, moderate. I would lose a little bit of weight and then I'd say, now I could just go back to moderation. And you cannot moderate an addiction. This food is, there's no shame in saying that you have an addiction. All of humanity is addicted to the standard American diet, except for a few of us lucky ones that have found a proper human diet and that are sticking to it and that realize you can't moderate an addiction. Once you realize you have an addiction and you don't try to moderate it anymore, it becomes easy. I don't have any cravings. Again, to my example earlier, if I was still drinking diet soda or having a little bit of strawberries or berries here or there, that would be like I was an alcoholic for 43 years and then I'm like, I'll just have a little bit of beer this weekend. I would go on a binge and I would be drunk by the end of the weekend because you cannot moderate an addiction. So don't let people tell you moderate or eat a balanced diet. I hate that one as well. Eat a balanced diet. Eat all the colors of the rainbow. You got to eat 75,000 different ingredients. You got to have a recipe with 100 different spices in it. It's so stupid. So dumb. There's millions of species on this planet. Every species, almost every single species on this planet eats like one thing. Cow eats grass. A koala bear eats eucalyptus. Shout out Dr. Anthony Chafee. I'm kind of rehearsing some of his speech here again or rehashing it. All of these species, there's so many species on Earth, we can't even count them. They say millions, but there's so many they don't even know. But what they do know is almost every one of them has an intended diet and eats that, except for one. Actually, one, and then that would be humans, and then the animals that we feed. And interestingly, only species on this planet that have incredible rates of obesity, metabolic disorder, cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, humans, and the pets we feed are dogs. I know a dog from a friend, I'm not going to name names, that has diabetes and have to give it insulin. That's insane. It's because we're feeding it shelf-stable, kibble, processed, science experiment garbage. We give it to humans in the form of a cereal box, and we give it to dogs in the form of dog food. The thing with the dog food is it's much worse than what we give to humans because they don't have the same requirements for forever chemicals and things like that in the packaging. I'm going on a tangent now, but my tip 5, never moderate an addiction. Don't try to moderate your addiction. Admit you're addicted. You're either going to relapse and you're going to go back to sugar, but you're never going to moderate it. You're either going to abstain or you're going to go back and you're going to be addicted. And you're going to just keep yo-yoing forever. So that's one of my biggest tips. I never realized that. I never realized that on a ketogenic diet. I did ketogenic diet for years. I'd lose a bunch of weight. I'd say, I'm pretty good now. Oh, I'm going to go back to eating moderately. I'll have a little bit of fruit. I'll have some berries and some strawberries. And I'd always start out with good intentions. And before you know it, I was binge eating again because I was giving myself just a little bit of taste of that. Carbs or sugar, not necessarily sugar, even carbs convert to glucose in the body. And then you want more, and then you want more. That is why everyone on the standard American diet is constantly gorging on food every 2 hours. And that is why everyone thinks us carnivores, I could never afford that. That's because they're eating 7 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between, dessert, beer, pizza, ice cream. God, I'm at the gas station. I better get a snack. We don't do that as carnivores. I oftentimes eat one big, huge meal a day, and that's it for the next 23 hours. Those people are eating over and over again because they have an addiction. They get a little bit of carbs and their body's like more, more, more. Just like if they had a little bit of cocaine or a little bit of beer, they'd want more, more, more. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I'm very energetic today, if you can't tell. And I haven't had any caffeine in 530 days either. I had some fantastic cold ribeye with a nice chunk of fat on it, and that'll give me energy. I'll be up till midnight tonight with nothing but energy. Debbie Deshawn, hello from Waukesha. Hey, fellow Wisconsinite, come on out. Montello Theater, October 12th. Oh, you guys want to hear it? I got to stop. I'm going to ramble. I'll make this real quick. I met a dude a month ago at a business, and I told him about carnivore. I was wearing a shirt. I think I had my shirt on. I eat only meat. Ask me why. He knew who Dr. Kiltz was. I told him I know Dr. Kiltz, and he's going to be at my world famous Montello movie theater for a meetup. He knew who Dr. Kiltz was. He'd watched some of his carnivore videos. He tried carnivore a couple times, and he fell off. And he was way overweight. He was over 300 pounds. This is what he told me. I just saw him again at the same place of business. It was almost exactly 30 days later. Guess what he did? He said, the day you told me about carnivore, and he's like, you didn't shut up about it. I went carnivore the very next day. I've been carnivore for 30 days. He's under the 300 mark. I think he was like 310 or something. I think he's lost like 20 pounds, I think he said. So I think he's at like 290 now. He's in the 200s again. And he's like, I feel so good. I feel incredible. I'm going to do this forever. So anyways, quick story. I thought that was awesome. I get a lot of people telling me on my YouTube channel, they watched one of my videos, they went carnivore, they lost a whole bunch of weight. It's a huge blessing for me to hear that over and over again, to hear it in person from someone that I forgot I even talked to the guy 30 days ago. That was pretty awesome. His name is Jeremiah too. Jeremiah, if you're watching, good job, buddy. I was impressed when you told me that. What? Since the day I talked to you, you did carnivore for 30 days. That's awesome. So a lot of people get sick of me when I don't shut up about carnivore, but hey, it works sometimes. Phil A lost 60 pounds since I watched one of Carrie's videos last February. All credit to the man. Thank you, Phil. All credit to you. All credit to God. All glory to God. I am glad I played a small part in this, Phil, but you ultimately were the one that was brave and did this. I was like, there's a scary path over there. You could take it, Phil. Most people wouldn't take that path given the opportunity. You did that, Phil. 60 pounds is incredible. That's 6 10-pound bowling balls. Good job. Carnivore stands about to go grill a ribeye. All right, I'm going to get caught up on these comments now. I'm so sorry. I am really looking forward to the Montello Theater meetup and Dr. Kiltz. I love that man. Speaking of books, oh my God, I'm never going to get that. Oh, I got it at home. I've got Dr. Kiltz's book too. I have so much energy on carnivore. I've never read so much my entire life. I got Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind, Unholy Trinity, Good Energy, The Vegetarian Myth. And Dr. Kiltz he's got a couple books. I got 2 of his books at home too. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get caught up. I'm so far behind now. Flip fatty brisket, got that one. Dan Kiwi, throw the scale away, 100%. Marilda has a question. Carrie, what is your opinion of using pork belly as bacon slices? As bacon with no nitrates is more expensive. Sprouts is the only place we found no nitrate bacon. How do the nutrients differ? I am all for 100% Marilda using pork belly instead. In fact, my daughter Emma and I did it one time, and I'm going to do it again. I keep saying it, and I keep forgetting. I got a pork belly from Costco. I smoke it, and then I sliced it up, and then I put the pieces in the air fryer with a little Redmond salt. It was fantastic. There's literally nothing in that except pork belly and a little bit of Redmond salt. It is so good for you. It's the way to go. I'm with you 100% on that one. Carnivore candy, when you first start, this is a tip. Thank you for prefacing it with the word tip. When you first start, eat, eat, eat. It will help if you're struggling with cravings. Don't let yourself get so hungry you cave into cravings. Another great tip from Carnivore candy. That is so true. And if you're going to commit to 30 days and you have a budget, allocate some of your budget for that first week to really treat yourself. What's your favorite thing? If you're rich and you can afford like fatty ribeyes every single day, awesome. I'm happy for you. If you can't, and you're going to mix in some ground beef and some patties and some eggs and stuff like that, like most people do, Do a couple of the fatty ribeyes in the beginning, because those first couple of days might be a little tough for you, adjusting. Like, oh, I'm just eating steak again. But hey, it's a big fatty ribeye. That helped me as well. Jeff, tip goes with your number 3, trust the process. Absolutely. And if you're suffering those first 2 weeks while you have that keto flu, know that it will go away. It is temporary. You're going to get into the zone where you're no longer burning carbs and you're burning fat for fuel, and those sugar cravings will go away and you're going to start to forget to eat. Just know if you're suffering those first 2 weeks, that is just very, very temporary. Lisa C, tip, I like to switch from our homemade raw butter to various brands of store-bought butter to mix up the flavors from time to time. Same with different brands of sour cream. Another power tip there, Lisa. Thank you so much. It sounds silly, this kind of butter, this kind of butter. When you are a proper human, like we are, carnivore, you can taste everything because you're not overwhelming your body with 4,000 different chemicals and ingredients. I could have every different cut of beef taste like a completely different food group to me. I could close my eyes. I could tell you if it's a New York strip, if it's a ribeye, if it's a tenderloin, and then you can prepare them a million different ways. Our sensitivity to things like salt increases, our taste buds, everything increases when you're doing carnivore. And I'm with you, Lisa. Even if you tried, I pretty much stick with the Kerrygold butter, but I'm going to test this out now. Different types of butter, you can taste it as a carnivore. You can also hear your body a lot better when you're eating a proper human diet, because your body, your digestive system isn't overwhelmed by all this roughage and garbage, and it's just constantly at work. It gets to chill out and relax. So, for example, how much salt do you use? I could just tell, like, my body's like, yeah, it needs more salt. But if someone on a standard American diet ate my bite of steak with my amount of salt on it, they'd probably be like, oh, that's way too salty. They haven't adapted, and their needs of their body are different because they're overwhelming their digestive system. You can really hear your body, I guess is my point. Carnivore Cheer. Hey, Lori, how's it going? If you can't afford ribeye, ground beef can be your friend. Try different types, Wagyu, bison, etc. I love this tip. These tips are great, and this isn't flattery. I didn't do a ton of ground beef initially. I did more patties. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Now and later in my carnivore journey, I absolutely love ground beef, and probably for a big stretch, I had it every single day. Love it. I absolutely love it. And you can cook it differently. I like to cook it and kind of crisp it up, almost like a smash burger, add a little bit of butter in at the end. The other thing I like that I never would have liked pre-carnivore, we were talking about cold steak earlier, cold ground beef. I'll cook up a big batch of ground beef, and if I got some extra, I'll put it in the refrigerator, a little glass container, eat it the next day cold. There's something about cold ground beef with a little bit of Redmond salt on it. It is fantastic. It's one of my new favorites. Ambitious Antique. These are great tips. Tip, you will lose fat around your organs first. And how important is that? When you actually have fat pushing on your organs and affecting how your organs are functioning, including the heart, by the way. That's a powerful why, right? So yeah, if you're not seeing inches at the scale, your internal fat around your organs, you can be losing that, which is of a huge benefit. Visceral fat, huge, huge, huge. Susan Lydia, number 3, I agree. That was one of mine as well. Change things up if you see a stall. So many people, just it drives me nuts when I hear someone like, I've been on a stall for 4 months now. What are you doing? Do something different, or go see a doctor if you've really done everything different. But most people haven't done anything different. They get into a flow and they're like, I'm doing carnivore. And then you find out they're eating a pound of cheese a day, and they're having a little bit of fruit on the weekends. They're still drinking Diet Coke, or they're doing these other things that they shouldn't be doing. Oftentimes it's too much cheese. Carnivore Coach Lisa. Coach Lisa, thank you so much. Number 1, know your blood work. Number 2, take your supplements while transitioning. I agree with that one. I did a lot of electrolytes while I was transitioning from burning sugar to burning fat. Remember to give your body time to build up to 18. Your factory needs rest. Oh, I thought I was going to say reset. Your factory needs rest. I love that one as well. That's why I think fasting is so incredible for so many people. Let your body chill. For 42 years on the standard American diet, it was like I was making fun of before. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, in between, roughage, salad, broccoli, all this garbage my body was never intended to digest, pesticides, glyphosate. And your digestive system requires an incredible, your factory, as Lisa said, your digestive system requires an incredible amount of energy to process all of that crap. As soon as it's almost done, what happens? Oh, I'm hungry again because you got that sugar addiction. You're going back for more. It's no wonder the majority of humanity, myself included, was walking around in a brain fog, fatigue, stupor. Getting done. Oh, I'm done working. I type on a computer. Why am I exhausted after 8 hours of typing on a computer? Most of humanity is that way because my digestive system, everything is just working overtime for 42 years straight. Think of the toll that puts on your body. Now, it would be different if my digestive system, I put a big toll on my body through my digestive system because it was processing all of these nutrients and minerals and vitamins that my body needed. But the truth of the matter is, 99% of that was waste. And that's why I was on the toilet multiple times. Waste in, waste out. You fill the whole grocery cart up with waste. You put all the waste in your body. You force your digestive system to work overtime for 42 years. You poop it all out in the toilet, and it's all wasted money, wasted energy. And what does that toll do on your body after years and years and decades walking around exhausted as your digestive system works overtime? Now my digestive system often days has 1 hour of work and 23 hours off to chill out, where that good gut bacteria is regenerating. And it's no wonder, like, so much of this stuff is so crystal clear now that I've disconnected from the matrix. Dan Kiwi tip, do lion for a month and a couple times a year. I am with you 100%. I feel incredible on carnivore. You've all heard it. It's changed my life forever. But I feel even better on lion, which I didn't think was even possible. Give it a try. If you're doing great on carnivore, great. But why? I always say to people, a lot of people are like, I could never do lion, but I'm doing carnivore. I'm like, it's doing beef, butter, bacon, eggs. It's just beef, salt, and water. It's not much of a difference to go from carnivore to lion diet. Try it for 3 days once. See how you feel. It's almost like doing a little mini fast. You will feel something. I promise you that. If you've never done lion and you've only done carnivore, and you commit to doing lion diet for 3 days, you will feel something. It'll be like a, whoa, what's going on? Lisa Pickard said 3 out of 5 fatty liver disease. Shout out my buddy, Dr. Nelson. Dr. Nelson's been a family medicine doctor for 40 years. He's seen upwards of 200,000 patients. Type 2 diabetes is rampant, and he also agreed with Coach Lisa. He said fatty liver disease is like under the radar. There's so many people suffering from fatty liver disease. It's all just from the foods we're eating, in quotes. The processed garbage, shelf-stable science experiment that's on the shelves in the grocery store that we're eating. Carnivore nurse Kim, I so wish I could go back and feed my children only real food. I'm with you. I think that's one of our biggest regrets. Hey, Bill Knott. Oh my goodness, I'm so far behind. Best tip, Carrie, sell your house and move to Alaska. Change your channel name to Alaskan Homestead How. Bill, stop. I have the call of Alaska since I went there last year, and even right now I want to go back so bad. If I didn't have the world famous Montello movie theater, we will probably take you up on that. We'll have to shut the movie theater down for summers and just go to Alaska in the summer. I couldn't afford to do that, but that would be an amazing blessing. In the meantime, Bill Knott, I'm coming back in 10 months, like it or not. The whole family's coming. I can't wait. Blessed by Carnivore. Hey, Carrie, been leaving messages on Facebook Live. Oh, thank you. I don't know if I can get those messages. I'm trying to do more on Facebook, so I apologize if I missed any message you sent me. Susan, I need to get my teen eating carnivore. He won't, but might do high protein. Baby steps, baby steps. Show him some other teens that are thriving on carnivore. That's the best way you can help people, is to inspire them. Most people will never eat a proper human diet unless they do it out of desperation or inspiration. There's so many stories out there now that inspiration is a good first move. Find out what your teen's into too. There's some athletes. Maybe your teen is into some sport or something. There's certain athletes out there. Dr. Chafee's interviewed quite a few of them that are just absolutely excelling on a carnivore diet. There's lots of carnivore teenagers that are. My friend Jeff DeProsperous, his kids, they need a separate division. They are wiping the competition. It's unfair what's going on with these carnivore athletes against regular ones. Show your son some of those things. Maybe that would help him. I need a jingle when Bill comes. Bill Knott has entered the building. Oh my goodness, Bill. I am still thinking about that ribeye we had at Bill's house. Bill went above and beyond and overboard. He looked through all of the ribeye roasts in Costco, literally one by one. And as a former chef and someone that knows a good piece of meat, he picked out the best ribeye roast. I cut it up. I was supposed to cook it. I got out of cooking it. I'm going to cook next year. I got to have my smoker. John cooked up this ribeye, and it was one of the most incredible meals ever. I got to share it with my buddy Bill, Emma, my good buddy John. It was incredible. Dan Kiwi, bone broth was used by all indigenous cultures. Bone broth heals. Lori from Carnivore Cheer said moderation is not an option for me. Lisa Nix, excellent question. Would it help an alcoholic to stop drinking if he started eating carnivore? I think so. I think so. And one example I can give you is my buddy Dave Mack. Look on YouTube for Dave Mack. He's got an incredible YouTube channel. He quit drinking and standard American diet. He went carnivore and drinking and quit. One of the most incredible things I've learned from interviewing so many carnivores is whatever their addiction was, it seems to go away on carnivore. I almost feel like the brain's incessant need for addiction is a byproduct of the standard American diet. We're poisoning our body slowly with these things. We're messing our body up. We're messing our hormones up. We're messing all these things up. And to cope, we need something to latch onto, and it's some sort of addiction. I've talked to so many carnivores that say, I don't have any addictions anymore. Like my buddy Todd Bachnes, Carnivore Cure. He was addicted to diet soda. He was addicted to chewing tobacco. I just don't care anymore. After going carnivore, those were addictions he had for a long, long time. Those addictions went away. I used to be horribly addicted to diet soda. I don't have any addictions anymore, and most of the people I've interviewed get rid of it. So it's something to consider. You know, I always do these little thought experiment things, and I was thinking about this earlier. People get mad at me at this one, but I don't care. I'm always going to speak the truth on my channel, even if some of it might be dumb, and I'm always open to be corrected. But I truly believe that most of the world's problems would be non-existent if people were doing a proper human diet from birth on. If you really start thinking about it, most of the world problems, let's take one of them, for example, like in the United States, homelessness. Sadly, a lot of people who are homeless because of addiction to drugs or alcohol. And the addiction takes over their life, and they spend all their money on those things, and they make poor decisions because of it. If they were eating a proper human diet and didn't have those addictions, I know, easier said than done. There's so many examples that I can think of like that. If people were just eating a proper human diet and they were in the right frame rate, and not just a proper human diet, but returning to what is natural for humans. It's not natural for humans to literally poison themselves with alcohol, because that's what alcohol is. It's a toxic poison. It's not natural for humans to take a piece of paper, light it on fire, and inhale the smoke. That's clearly not a natural thing. So if everyone returned to natural, mainly through the foods we're eating, so many of the world's problems would be non-existent. I might make some people mad on this one too, but I don't care, because I believe it to be true. I truly believe these mass shootings that we see so sadly, I did a video on this and got some people fired up, but most of these mass shootings we see from young folks, teenagers shooting up schools, these are folks that have horrible depression or anxiety, and then they're put on a slew of medications, and these younger kids a lot of times will be like, well, I'm really depressed, I'll take more of the medication. You can't do that. That has horrible side effects. Or they're like, it's not really working for me. They'll quit cold turkey. You can't do that either. And a lot of these shootings happen when people are messing around with their medication. But what is the root cause? In my opinion, mental health issues. And the mental health healing I have seen when people return to a proper human diet, for myself personally, and so many other people, and so many people that Dr. Eid has talked about and has treated so many people she has treated with a proper human diet where their mental health issues go away. I really wonder what would happen with these mass acts of violence that we see on the news over and over again that are perpetuated because of a mental health illness. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent now, but imagine what a wonderful world we'd live in if all of humanity returned to what is natural for humanity. It'd be incredible. All right, I'm gonna get back to the tips now. I'm so sorry. I'm falling behind. Adam, Carnivore Today, excellent tip, my friend. If you are a snacker, have cooked bacon ready in the fridge. I know it's hard to do. Anytime there's cooked bacon in my house, we end up eating it, but we did do that in our household. We would make up a ton of bacon and put it in a glass jar in the refrigerator. Hey, it's my wife, Jen. Hello, everyone. Made it late, but I'm here upstairs. Jen, you got any carnivore tips? Jen is doing awesome on carnivore, by the way. She's still not loving the big steaks, but she's eating burger patties and eggs every single day. Jen, what day are you on now? I've lost track. I'm on day 530. I think she's around 150-ish. Carnivore coach Lisa, tips, set habits, short-term goals, celebrate when you accomplish the goals. Mindset is critical. I love it. Reset those neural pathways and write them down. There's a difference between setting a goal and saying, I want to lose 50 pounds. And if you have a piece of paper and you say, I want to lose 50 pounds, or I no longer want to be depressed, or I want to get rid of the inflammation in my legs, and you put that on a board and you look at it every day, it is a million times more powerful and effective than if you just say it in your head. It takes 2 seconds to write it down. And then you know what happens? When you get there, mark it off the list. It is so rewarding. Celebrate when you accomplish the goals, said Coach Lisa Pickert. She's absolutely right. Great tip. Thank you. TS said, I saw my husband eating a salad and instantly my brain said, poison. The same thing when I see flour, sugar, and any pastries or pasta. I'm with you. I'm with you. People think that's crazy. That salad, like Dr. Berry, when I interviewed him, he's like, lettuce is crunchy water with glyphosate on it, and then we pour seed oil all over it, which is a science experiment on its own. It's engine lubricant that we're feeding to humans. Poison, in my opinion. Messes me up. I know that for sure. Lash, I got it on my watch list. I haven't watched it yet. Lash has done a couple interviews lately. Go check it out. My next tattoo, nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. I love that, 100%. Lash is really going to write it down permanently. It's the truth. I love that too, Lash, because, oh my goodness, I don't know how many times I hear that. I could never do carnivore. I just like my orange juice too much. There's one person in particular I'm thinking of that tells me that quite a bit. And I've mentioned this before on my channel. Let's say it again. I'm going to tell them again next time. Well, enjoy your orange juice and enjoy your low testosterone and your rather large man boobs. Have fun with that. And your chronic inflammation and your weekly headaches and your migraines and who knows what's going to happen because of your long-term chronic inflammation, but enjoy your orange juice because it's literally pure sugar drug addiction. Is that too rough? Is that too hard on people? I'm so sick of hearing that. I could never do that. I can't give up this or that. It makes me mad. It makes me mad because there's people out there that would give anything for an able, healthy body that I look around in the world and I see people and they're just trashing it, just absolutely trashing it with orange juice, which is literally you could drink a Pepsi and it probably has less sugar in it than orange juice does. It's so good for you. It says orange on it. Like, how foolish are people? Jen said, Bill, amazing, Bill. So proud of you. You got to give yourself credit. Bill is a rock star. Brandon says, is hot sauce okay on carnivore? Everyone's different, Brandon. I don't do hot sauce because it's not an animal. I'm kind of a strict carnivore. Some people do mostly meat, and then they'll add some things like hot sauce in, and they're just fine with it. I'm not judging anybody. Everybody is different. I used to be a hot sauce king, and I would go crazy with it, so I didn't want to mess with it on carnivore. Adam, Carnivore Today, tip says save money by rendering your own tallow. Smoke the tallow if you want to level up your fried egg game. Adam, my friend, you have talked about this several times. I have yet to try it. I got to definitely try that. Carnivore Coach Lisa, you nailed this one on the head. Bill's will is of a warrior. 100%. I was so impressed with Bill. Bill's blushing right now. I don't care. I got to speak the truth. The truth is important. I am so absolutely impressed with what Bill has done over the course of the last year. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. So many things beyond just losing weight, overcoming depression, getting outside. So many more things besides that. But the fact that I don't know if you guys watch Bill Knott's channel. If you're not, you're losing out. Go watch Bill Knott. Type into YouTube, Bill Knott, hit subscribe, and then click the little notification button. He's putting out some incredible videos. Just announced in one of his videos, he's going to do a 30-day sardine challenge. And he was already doing the sardine fast before we came up there. And he's swearing by it. It's absolutely incredible how he's feeling when he's doing this. And I told him, I'm like, look at Bill's eyes. Go watch his video. Look at his eyes in his last like 2 videos that he's done. They're like crystal clear blue. Like, I swear there's something behind. You can see someone's health in their eyes. He looks like a next level human being. He's definitely leveled up. And now he's talking about doing this for 30 days. Crazy. I'm not giving any spoilers away. Am I, Bill? That was in your last video. Go check out Bill's video. Bill Knott on YouTube. N-O-T-T. See? I didn't even read this comment. By the way, Bill, you're looking so handsome lately. That's for sure. You need to listen to yourself. Bill Knott, you not only changed your own life, you changed the lives of many others following your example. Hey, it's my friend Lynn Tucker Carnivore. Lynn Tucker Carnivore, everyone. For those that don't. That is Lynn Tucker Carnivore and her husband Jim, Ribeye Ranger, along with my buddy Adam from Carnivore Today, myself, and we even got Dr. Barry in the shot. Oh, stay. Lynn and Jim have excellent YouTube channels also. Lynn Tucker Carnivore and Ribeye Ranger. My favorite carnivore name of all time, by the way, Ribeye Rangers. That's pretty awesome. Carnivore Today. Cold sliced cooked steak is a great meal snack on road trips. 100%. Thinly sliced too. There's something about that. And then sprinkle a little bit of that Malden sea salt on there. It's good stuff. Oh, and then you could cut it thin. And like Lash says, make meat chips in the dehydrator. Snack on those anytime. I haven't tried that yet. I have done I've done beef jerky once. I want to do it again. I haven't done that in a while. Blessed by Carnivore. Is this my friend Becky? Becky, is that you? I can't tell. The little picture's only this big. Tip, join a community and be involved daily. We were not created to be reclusive. Let your light shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify our Father in heaven. I love it. 100%. And if you can't afford to join a group, there's free ones out there. We're not just saying this like, oh, go join this group. There's quite a few free groups on Facebook. I mentioned before, Meat Sisters is a really good one. Jen was in that one. We have a Return to Natural one. If you can afford a group, we have the one that Adam mentioned earlier, our group, healinghumanity.life. There's different groups for different reasons too. I'm still a member of Dr. Barry's group. Oh, thank you, Carnivore Nurse Kim. Hit the hearts, y'all, to push it out to the world. Everyone needs to hear about this. Pete Crowley. Carrie, did you hear of any results on the carnivore diet with someone with a leaky heart valve? I haven't heard of that one in particular, Pete. I would suggest check with Dr. Philip Ovadia on that one. He is, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's in our documentary. He's a heart surgeon. He wrote a book called Stay Off My Operating Table. He's performed thousands of heart surgeries, and he's advocating for a proper human diet. He does mostly carnivore diet himself. Maybe catch him on a live stream, and you can ask him that one. I haven't heard of that one. As I said earlier, I had congestive heart failure. My ejection fraction was 44. It's perfectly normal now, and I did that the only change I did was carnivore diet. Ate a carnivore diet. Some people argue and say, oh, it's just because you lost weight. Well, the only way I could ever lose weight my entire life, carnivore diet. And I believe it was more than that. The heart performs more efficiently while in ketosis. You give your body and you give your digestive system time to relax. You get cell regeneration. You go into autophagy when you're doing some of this fasting and you get rid of the old cells. You get some of the new cells. It's amazing, absolutely amazing how the heart, how the body, how everything heals when you're eating a proper human diet. So, but I haven't heard of a specific example I can give you. Karen Miles, how's it going, Karen? Karen came out to our meetup in Montello. Karen is awesome. She's at a lot of the meetups. Carrie, my husband started carnivore 6 weeks ago because he got diagnosed with cancer. I heard you say that on Facebook the other day. I'm sorry to hear that, Karen, but I'm happy that he's eating a proper human diet now. I wish he started with me 4.5 years ago. I wish your husband the best. Karen is absolutely awesome too. If you guys haven't met Karen yet, you got to check her out. She's got a great YouTube channel as well. Karen, remind me, I got my carnivore brain. Isn't it like Carnivore Twins or Carnivore Sisters? Karen, please mention it in the chat now. I'd love to shout it out. I think Karen did a video, am I thinking of the right one, regarding meetups that really helped me out. Karen walks into a room and she's got this huge smile on her face and she's got the carnivore energy and she lights the room up. And I know Karen likes to go to a lot of carnivore meetups. One of the first meetups we did here at Montello Theater, Karen came to, and I have been hooked on meetups ever since. And looking forward to crossing paths with Karen again in another one. Wishing your husband the best, Karen. Thank you. Bill looks amazing. His skin is glowing. Sonia Larson. Question, I'm feeling good and doing well with allowing a small amount of fruit in my diet. Why might that be not healthy for an already healthy person? Listen, every person's different. I've heard Dr. Barry say he'll have seasonal berries every now and then. For me, if I had a little fruit, and for a lot of people that are doing carnivore that have an addiction, we can't do a little fruit. I'll just speak of myself. I can't do a little fruit. I would end up binging and I would end up eating more and more fruit. The other reason why that might not be healthy is because fruit today is nothing like it used to be. Fruit today has a lot of pesticides in it, glyphosate. People rinse it off, but there's pesticides inside that fruit. I truly believe the reason that we're seeing so many rates of leaky gut and a lot of depression, anxiety, because glyphosate breaks the blood-brain barrier. This is from these chemicals that are put on this produce, fruits and vegetables that humans weren't intended to eat. Now, some people will say, I get organic. Organic doesn't mean pesticide-free. If you're eating organic fruit, believe it or not, it still has pesticides on it. They're just a little bit different than the pesticides. But if it has the word pesticide, that means death. Side means death. It's a chemical, it's a concoction. It's made for death, for killing. People will say, it's just the dosage that matters. Or people will say, what if I grow my own vegetables? You do you. Everyone's different. If you can do it and you're doing just fine, more power to you. I would be worried personally because of my sugar addiction. I would be worried because of the chemicals, the glyphosate, the pesticides. And the last reason, and I could go on about this forever, is fruit nowadays is a joke. A lot of fruit has been genetically modified and altered over and over and over again to be sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. An apple today is this big. It's an absolute joke. An apple back in the day used to be this big, and it didn't taste anything like it did now. You bite into an apple now and you're basically eating a glorified piece of candy. And then you're hungry again an hour later for more. The last thing I'll say on fruit is fruit has about 1/7 the nutrients it had even 50 years ago because the soil of our earth is scorched with chemicals and glyphosate. It's turning into a dust bowl. And if you guys want to learn more about that, I learned about it from Rancher Maggie when we filmed her for our documentary. She taught me all about soil health. Leah Keith talks about it brilliantly in her book, The Vegetarian Myth. But we are blasting our soil with chemicals and fertilizers to try to get anything to grow. It's really simple. Like you could teach a kindergartner some of this. You could put a little seed into the soil. If there's no nutrients in the soil, you might get a carrot that's got some nice green on it because they put fertilizer and chemicals all over it, but it's not going to have nutrients in it if there isn't nutrients in the soil. And that's a problem with a lot of our fruits and vegetables nowadays. You look at an apple on the shelf, oh, it looks like a healthy apple. It has 1/7 the nutrients it had before. It potentially has glyphosate pesticides in it. It's a big sugar bomb that's going to spike my sugar and it's going to give me sugar cravings. I'm going to want to eat more and more of it. For me, I've realized I get everything I need in the proper proportions from a fatty ribeye from eating meat, and I want for nothing else and I need nothing else. I've done only that for 530 days. My blood work, everything is incredible. I'm not lacking. It's not like, oh, gee, I should really eat an apple because I'm lacking this vitamin or this mineral. I'm not lacking for anything. So the only reason to eat an apple would be for what? Entertainment, pleasure, kind of like doing a drug or drinking a beer because it makes me feel good inside. My body literally doesn't need it, and I'm thriving without it. So those are my reasons. Everyone's different. I'm not judging anybody. I get passionate sometimes, and then people get mad at me because they say, I have berries every now and then that I grow in my own garden and they're just fine. I am happy for you. If you found what works for you, more power to you. I know that I'm an addict, and I know that most people watching this are an addict, and having even a little bit of berries is going to trigger that addiction again. And if it was like I'm taking this big risk because there's some big payoff at the end, like I'm just going to get all these vitamins and minerals and nutrients from this apple, then maybe it would be worth more thought. But as I just described earlier, 1/7 the nutrients it had before, full of sugar, and I'm probably ingesting pesticides and glyphosate on top of it. The pros don't outweigh the cons in my book. Lisa Nick said I need to learn how to make brisket as well. Anyone got any brisket tips? I smoked mine. Really easy. Put it on the smoker. Takes a long time, but I put it on the smoker. I wait till it hits 165 internal temperature. I smoke it at 225 degrees. When it hits 165, I wrap it, and then I wait till it gets to about 205, and then I pull it out, let it sit for an hour, put some red mint salt on, bada boom, bada bing. That's all I do. But if you don't have a big smoker, I realize it can be tough. I've heard of other people doing it. I saw someone the other day did it in an oven. People doing it in a crock pot. Here we go. Carnivore Coach Lisa. Crock pot, slow cooker. Maybe get a smaller brisket. I'm sure people have done an Instapot. Maybe pressure cook it. Susan Hampton. Susan's awesome. Always leaving good tips. When visiting friends and family in their homes, bring your own food and enough to share with them. As Bill Knott says, prepare, prepare, prepare. That's what the girls and I did at Easter. We went to a family's friend's house, and we packed up I made a roast. What was like an English roast? Oh, it was very good. Sliced it up, brought it with. It's fantastic. And we brought bacon too. Carnivore Stan said, I'm sorry, I'm so far behind. I think we can find a quote or make one ourselves similar to one good anecdote is worth a volume of biography. William Channing. Love it. Talking about the book. Carrie, can you do a sort by the word tip? No, I wish I could. I'm going to go quicker. I'm sorry. I need someone to help moderate. I think Jen's on now too. I should have had her do that. There's a way so you can go through. There's like 100 comments I'm seeing here, and I get so distracted. I'm going to get there. I'm just scrolling real quick. I'm just looking for the tip now. Carnivore Candy tip, just salt on meat is delicious. Don't be afraid to give up spices, at least for a while. 100%. Brisket, only salt. Ribeye, only salt. It's incredible. So many people that are non-carnivore too, they say to me, that's going to be so bland. And then they try my food when it's just meat and salt. And they're like, oh my God, that's fantastic. Tip, Cordelia, start your day with Dr. Kilt's Power Hour, 5 a.m., 100%. Question, will Mimi do social media videos or YouTube soon? She is inspiring. I don't know if she will, but she is on Instagram and Twitter. Mimi Morgan. All right. I'm getting to the tips. We're doing tips now. We're doing tips. Susan Lydia, super chat. Thank you so much. Will you ever do an in-body or DEXA scan to see all your visceral fat reduced? I hope to do it as a before since I'm still overweight. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Every penny goes towards the documentary. Yes, Susan, I will. In fact, I wanted to in Austin at Hack Your Health. Next year, Hack Your Health, I'm going to definitely do it. I just didn't have time. We filmed 14 people while we're out in Austin. We didn't get to spend enough time that we wanted to at the event, but they were doing DEXA scans there. I'm getting caught up, guys. Getting towards the tips. Who's your carnivore, Brett? Thank you so much, my friend. Gifted 5 HomesteadHow memberships. Really appreciate that. Every penny goes towards the documentary. Members only live stream every Thursday, 3 p.m. Central, giving you behind the scenes stuff. You can email me if you're a member. Really appreciate all the members. I don't I said this before, I'm going to say it again. Without you guys, without the memberships and the donations, we wouldn't have been able to film Bill's story 1 year later, which is just incredible. I'm so happy for everyone that's rooting for Bill that you're going to get to see Bill's story in the beginning, and 1 year later, what you're going to see, you're going to be like, was worth it. Was worth the wait for sure. Polish Mike, how's it going, buddy? It's been a while. There should be no such thing as cheat meal. If you cheat on your diet because of variety, then go cheat on your spouse for variety as well. I love that one. Tip from Lynn, Carrie, don't read the Dr. Kilt's baby books. Yeah, we're good on the babies now. We're going to end up with triplet boys. For those of you that don't know, my wife Jen and I have triplets plus one. Question, do you eat corned beef? No, I have not had any corned beef on the carnivore diet. Steven, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I am a 15-year-old carnivore, but I've had issues with eating the large pieces of fat on steaks. Any suggestions? Steven, congratulations. You are awesome. You are the future. I'm so happy and hopeful hearing about 15-year-old carnivores. My 17-year-old daughters are doing carnivore as well. You are the future, my friend. You had issues eating large pieces of fat on steak. Any suggestions? Oh, yes, I got suggestions. First of all, if there's too much, sometimes we get steak that's got a ridiculous amount of fat. And if you're not used to it yet, it can be tough. I get it. Cut that fat up. Do you have an air fryer, Steven, or a cast iron skillet? Cut it up into little smaller chunks. Put it in the air fryer or cast iron skillet. That will change the texture. You can put a little salt on, and it's really good. I'll do that, and then I'll take my steak. I'll cut a piece of the ribeye off that has like no fat on it. You look at this little piece of ribeye, no fat. Take a little piece of the fat from the air fryer, put it on there. It doesn't have to be like, oh, this is a big process. I would sometimes do that, like if I'm preparing 3 or 4 steaks, cut all the fat off, chunk it up, throw it in the air fryer, and then I'd put that in the fridge in a little glass jar, and then I have little fat chunks for the week. Cook up ground beef later in the week, add a couple of those little fat chunks of ribeye in there. When we filmed Maggie, 65 years, she was eating a carnivore diet, 83 years young, doing a proper human diet for 65 years. That was one of the things that she did. She'd have fat at every meal. So take it down, reduce it down into little baby steps, smaller, more manageable chunks that you can do, Steven. And thank you so much for the $5 super chat, and congratulations on being a 15-year-old carnivore. If you want to share more of your story with me, I'm always looking to hear more. Some people, they're not comfortable, but if you're potentially interested in sharing your story, I don't know if you're just starting carnivore, if you're going for a while, I always tell people, hit me up after you've been doing carnivore for 30 days. Send me an email, HomesteadHow@gmail.com, and maybe we could do a story and share it on my YouTube channel and inspire some other 15-year-olds that want to be a proper human. You have a bright future, Steven, starting at this age. Oh, my goodness. I can't imagine if I started carnivore, eating a proper human diet at 15 years old, getting my gut bacteria in order, getting rid of that brain fog, thinking clearly, being able to go through the rest of your years as you're growing, if you're going to go to college or as you start to get a job, just having that clarity in your mind, it's going to be incredible for you. Terry May said, thank you for the gift membership, Hoosier Carnivore. Thank you so much, Brett. That's awesome. Appreciate you, buddy. Everyone check out Hoosier Carnivore 2 on YouTube, another awesome YouTube channel and good friend of the channel. Rachel is traveling to the USA from Australia. Do you got any tips for eating carnivore when staying in accommodations without a kitchen? If you got to go out to eat, it is always tough. There are fast food places you can go to. People get mad at me when I say this, but it's the truth. If it's good enough for Dr. Barry, it's good enough for me. I'm not advocating go to McDonald's every day and eat, but if you're in a pinch and you have no other choice, McDonald's burgers are 100% beef, and they're not cooked in seed oils. Culver's is another good one. I know a lot of people talk about Wendy's. Some people say Wendy's is good. Dr. Baker says they don't use seed oils. I went to a Wendy's and they said they did, but I think the girl was just confused. If you can't get fast food, you don't have accommodations, the other best way is just to prepare. If you can prepare, you can buy pre-cooked bacon. It's probably not the best for you. You can get, what is that? What is that? Lynn Tucker Carnivore was talking about it the other day. The Italian beef that's sliced, prosciutto. You can get prosciutto. You can go to Costco. You can buy prosciutto. That is a cold meat that's safe on the carnivore diet. I would do some of those things. Or prepare. Next time, prepare. Get it ahead of time if you can. Like Adam was saying, cut up some beef, eat it cold, bring a little glass jar. Whenever I travel, we do bring a big power bowl with in a glass jar and eat that. All right, I'm getting caught up. I'm getting caught up. As soon as I get caught up, there's 50 more comments. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of the comments and support. You guys are awesome. If you guys have any other questions, I'm going through. I'm going to get all the tips. Here we go. Janine, tip. If you're looking for sales for meats, food, or other store items, there's an app in the App Store called Flipped. It will notify you when sales are coming at the stores you choose near you. Great tip. Check those sales. Check for the little yellow tags. I try to get a lot of my beef from my neighbor, but they're sold out, although they just got another batch in, and I got to head over there because she even wrote on her Facebook post, we got another batch of meat in. The steaks are going to go quick. Everyone picks up all the steaks early, and then there's only ground beef left. Otherwise, I got some tomahawk ribeyes. I know they got the big bone. You're paying for the bone, but it was over half off. This was at Walmart. It was $16 for a huge, like 3-pound tomahawk ribeye. So it was like $5 a pound. I know you're paying for the bone, but that was an incredible deal. Every now and then they'll do that at Walmart. They'll market, and it was just like, it wasn't old or anything. Like, I guess they had a couple that were a little bit newer, but it wasn't expired or even near the date, I should say. Kelly DeWeese, tip, if this one hasn't been mentioned, replacing the soda for sparkling mineral water. It does satisfy the soda crave. Great tip, Kelly. Hers is Pellegrino. Mine is Topo Chico. They sell this at Costco, and I like it because it's in a glass bottle. Now, some people have said Topo Chico, they got a bad rating for forever chemicals, but I'm pretty sure that's on their they sell these in plastic bottles as well. And they also have, you got to be careful, they have another one of these that has like citrus in it or something. I don't get that. I just get the plain. This is literally the only ingredients is mineral water, and it's carbonated, and it's in a glass jar. I like Pellegrino kind of, but I really like this. But I really like your comment, Kelly, because it is so true. I quit soda and I was off it for a while. And then I found this much later. So this wasn't to replace soda for me, but I can definitely see how it would have. You get that little bit of carbonation, that little bit of, I don't know. It reminds me of drinking something else, and I really enjoy it. I started drinking those in Austin. So whoever picked those up in Austin, it was Ashley, Who's Your Carnivore, Brett, or Todd Bachner. Someone brought a bunch of those to Austin. We had our little Camp Carnivore kitchen. So I was like, you want to try one of these? I was like, oh, I don't like carbonated water. And I drank. I was like, ooh, that's pretty good. And been drinking them ever since. I got a whole fridge full of them. Mark Johnson with a power tip. Go to Costco, Sam's Club, Butcher's Warehouse, local butcher, and buy primal or subprimal cuts and cut your own steaks. Bonus, you can make your steak as thick as you want. Another great tip. I do the same thing. And you know, there's something to it, Mark. I may be screwing this up, but people were telling me, like Costco, for example, they tenderize the meat, which I think they just poke it a million times with like little needles or something like that. Correct me. I'm probably wrong, guys. I apologize if I am. But I have had the ribeyes from Costco many times that are pre-cut, and I have had the whole big subprimal cut that I cut up myself, and I swear it tastes so much better getting that big one. Is it because they're not doing the tenderizing thing, or is it just in my brain? But you can also cut it to the own thickness that you want, which I really like as well. Hey, it's Dr. Phil. How's it going, Dr. Phil Smith? Tip, hang with positive, encouraging people in your life. Avoid the naysayers for 90 days. You will build your immunity to them and just smile. Yes, yes, yes. I can't repeat it enough. I truly believe one of the reasons that I had so much success on carnivore my first 90 days was because I became a little bit selfish, but I'm like, I am going to focus 100% on fixing myself, fixing my diet. It's going to require an incredible amount of energy. I only have this much energy in a day. I don't have energy to dedicate towards people that are going to be negative. I don't have energy to dedicate towards watching cable news and screaming at my TV over and over again about, no, the injustice. I didn't watch the news. I didn't read the newspaper. I didn't worry about family drama, so-and-so, this in-law, that in-law. Focus 100% on yourself. But even more so, to Dr. Phil's point here, if you additionally then surround yourself by like-minded, positive people, you end up being a net result of what you hang around with. That's why these like carnivore communities and groups are so awesome. You're around like-minded individuals, but every carnivore I've met, Dr. Phil included, overwhelmingly positive, happy. We've got a second chance at life. We've got energy. We've got that carnivore glow going on. You hang around with those people and you'll reap that. You hang around people that are constantly cheating on carnivore. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention names, but there's some people around the block will say that their thing is just cheating on carnivore over and over again. You end up cheating on carnivore or making excuses. Or you hang out with people that are constantly negative, and then you start being constantly negative. We got a troll. Visit Alaska in the winter before moving there. Great tip, Lynn. Yeah, that would probably change my mind. I think I'll just be visiting in the summertime, Bill. Bill, here's a better idea. You move to Wisconsin. We'll get you a homestead right here. Bill, you are coming to Wisconsin, to the world famous Montello Theater, because on the marquee, it's going to say Healing Humanity, starring Daisy and Bill Knott. We're going to put it in that order. Your name will be on the marquee. You got to come here and watch that Healing Humanity documentary premiere. And then, Bill, I can cook you a proper steak on my own equipment. I need my own equipment. I know how everything works. I'm gonna ribeye this thick. I'm gonna smoke it, and I'm gonna reverse sear it over lump charcoal on the Little Sunshine Komodo Joe grill. Be the best steak you've ever eaten. It'll be worth the trip out from Alaska. You can bring I was gonna say you can bring Daisy with you. Will bring Daisy with too. You can get a little cat carrier. Daisy wants to travel. Daisy was telling me I got to get out of this house. Daisy can come and hang out with little Daisy. Did you guys all see little Daisy? Oh my goodness, this cat is driving me insane. I'm gonna get caught up. I'm getting distracted. If anyone wants to see a picture of little Daisy, I'll show you at the bottom if I can get caught up here. I hope everyone is having a good time tonight. I really appreciate everyone joining. I'm having a good time. I love hanging out with other carnivores, and this is so much fun. Like I've prepared all this stuff, and you guys are giving me way better tips, way better tips than I even had. Oh, here's another one I had real quick as I get to the bottom. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. There's so many people. How much do I measure? How much do I eat? What of this? What of that? When you're doing carnivore, you can hear your body so much more clearly. If you feel like you're getting a little muscle cramp, or you're getting a little bit of a headache, take some more electrolytes. Listen to your body. You can hear it so much better. On a standard American diet, you can't hear anything with your body because it's confused and it's overwhelmed and it's processing 24 hours a day. Carnivore Stan said, I'm with you, Carrie, on the many world problems could be solved with a proper human diet. Yeah, just returning to natural. I can't even imagine what the world would be like. Incredible. Incredible. Everyone I know that has returned to a proper human diet, their life has become incredible. Whatever their success metric is, has improved. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. When did you go 1 meal a day on your journey? Oh, I am so bad with dates. I want to say maybe 3 months into it, I did Lion Diet, and I did it for like 60 days. And that was actually a year ago when I went to visit Bill. So I was probably 3 months into it. And when I was doing Lion Diet, I would do 1 meal a day. It felt great. I'd eat a lot during that meal. Don't get me wrong. But and then right now, I'm kind of doing 1 meal a day. I'm not strict. I do 1 meal a day most days, sometimes 2 meals a day. Lots of fat, though. Lots of fat. That's when you eat 1 meal a day, you got to eat lots of fat to fill you up. Does your eyesight improve while on carnivore? Michael, I can just tell you, I have heard that from several individuals. I know it sounds crazy, but when you think of the science, it makes sense. We're walking around as humans in states of high inflammation from the foods we're eating. when you're people that are type 2 diabetic that lose their vision, what's it called? Retinal neuropathy, I think it's called. That is oftentimes from inflammation that starts pushing on the back of the eye. Dr. Jordan Peterson famously on Joe Rogan said he had floaters in his eye and they went away on carnivore diet. I've heard that from other people. And Dave Mack interviewed some individuals who had crazy improvements in their vision while on a carnivore diet. So yes, I have heard it from several individuals. Lori, so if you're on anxiety meds, how do you know if you're doing better and you can start to get off the meds? Well, you'll start feeling better, your anxiety will start to go away. But you should never get off your meds or change your meds without talking to your prescribing physician that gave you those meds. It's very important when you're talking about anxiety medication, depression, any type of medication. Whoever gave you that prescription, they will tell you how you can safely wean off of it. You can't just quit cold turkey. It can really screw you up, turn you into a zombie. I really believe some of these acts of mass violence that are so horrible, oftentimes I believe are perpetuated by people that are messing around and with that medication and quitting cold turkey or taking too much of it. Some crazy things end up happening. Mike has a firm but probably true comment. If you need to snack, you did not eat enough on the previous meal, period. I'm with you there, Mike. I'm with you. If you eat enough fatty meat during a meal, you're not going to want to snack. I used to think that on carnivore, like back in the day. What are some carnivore snacks? Geez, I got to figure this out quick. And then I'm like, I never snack. I don't need a snack. I eat a big fatty ribeye and I'm full. Carrie, you look great. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I feel great. Even more importantly, I feel incredible. Jesus fasted 40 days. That's a long time. Absolutely is. Hey, it's Rachel. How's it going, Rachel? Hope you're doing well. It's Rick. How's it going, Rick? Grow your own ducks. There you go. Old biker. Oh, I like this one. The person who takes medicine must recover twice. Once from the illness and once from the medicine side effects. Oh, I could go on a rant about that. I did a video earlier today. Every now and then I just get the inspiration. I'm like, I got to record this. And I did it about ADHD. And I believe ADHD should be renamed. It should be artificial diet hyperactivity disorder, because I believe ADHD is caused from our diet. I believe we're giving kids chemicals and sugar, high fructose corn syrup, all these ingredients they shouldn't eat that are not natural. And then they're bouncing off the walls. In addition to that, we're putting them under fluorescent lights for 8 hours and say, don't move. That's kind of crazy. Kind of an escape from what's natural, but we're forcing them to do things that are highly unnatural, and we're putting highly unnatural chemical ingredients into their bodies. Then they're bouncing off the walls, and then we tell them, oh, there's a defect. There's something wrong with you, and you need medication because you're just so hyperactive. No, it's the chemicals and the garbage we're giving them. And then what is the solution? Similar to this quote from Old Biker. Take them to the doctor, give them some more chemicals that are formulated into a pill to help with the former chemical problem that you gave them. The root cause of the problem is that you gave them sugars and seed oils and processed garbage, ingredients they can't pronounce. They got hooked on it, and they're eating unnatural foods. And then to fix that, we're going to give them something even more unnatural. I don't believe ADHD would exist if humans were eating a proper human diet. I know type 2 diabetes would be gone. I believe most cancers would be gone if everyone ate a natural, returned to natural, ate a proper human diet from birth. I believe all those ADHD wouldn't be there. I was never diagnosed with ADHD, but they thought I had it. As you could tell from how fast I'm talking right now, maybe there's something to that. But my ADHD now is I'm on overdrive just from energy from carnivore. But I think it's such a tragedy that kids are told that, and it's almost like there's something wrong with you, and therefore you need to take this medication because you're different than other people. No, you're hopping the kid up on sugar and then forcing them to sit under fluorescent lights for 8 hours, and then they're moving around too much, and it's their fault. I'm probably going to make some people mad with that, and maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that's that's my take on it. Lori Witzel said, I think I heard fruit is worse for your liver than sugar, but don't quote me on that. The other problem with fruit that I didn't mention before, I could do a whole hour on fruit if you guys want. Fruit that historically humans ate was seasonal. Where I live, it's like winter most of the time in Wisconsin, and you get some berries like 2 weeks out of the year. Humans were never meant to eat fruit every single day of the year. They're meant to be eaten seasonally. And my friend Molly, who is on the channel, she started talking about this. I'm going to ask her more about it, but there's actually mechanisms in the body that when you eat fruit, when the sun's out in season, that your body treats that different than if you're eating the same fruit, say, in the middle of wintertime. The human body was never made to do that over and over and over again. Seasonal. It was meant to be seasonal. C.F. Martin said, cattle was mentioned very early in Genesis. God made cattle after his kind. They got special mention. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, we got that one. Gunther SB, $20. Thank you so much for the super chat. What do we got here? Hi, I passed 90 days online, 2-to-1 fat, protein, and ratio in grams, eating mostly 100% grass-fed beef and beef trimmings. I still have low energy, especially a few hours after a meal. Any guesses as to what might be the problem? Eating mostly 100% grass-fed. Electrolytes. Have you tried electrolytes? That's the only thing I can think of. I feel incredible doing pretty much exactly what you're saying, Gunther. I'm doing that and I'm not getting tired like you. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but my only thought would be electrolytes. Maybe try that and see how you feel after that. Now, some people will argue to me and they'll say, if that's a perfect diet, then why would you need to supplement with electrolytes? Well, the reason is because ancestrally speaking, we would have been getting a lot more magnesium, for example. Throughout history, we would have been getting a lot more. Like Dr. Berry says, we would have been drinking puddle water, we would have been drinking lake water. Now all of the water is sterilized and filtered and fluorides added to it. And some of these minerals and things that we would have gotten out of the meat that would have been in the ground, we're not getting anymore. So we have to supplement because the world has changed over this last several decades with the standard American diet. That would be my best suggestion for you. My first thought was make sure you're getting enough fat, but it sounds like based on your ratio, you are getting enough fat. I would try the electrolytes to see how that works. Thank you so much for the super chat. Rich LaBoy, just wanted to say hello, doing great. Carney for 13 months, 61, feeling 20. Thank you so much, Rich. Wow, you're doing great. 13 months. Thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Again, every penny from that goes towards the documentary. All righty here, let's see. Shadow Dancer said they have countertop smokers for around $100 that looks like a crock pot. Really? Is that like an indoor thing? That sounds crazy because how could you have the smoke indoors? I thought I saw something like that though, where it was an indoor thing. Interesting. Unless you just mean an outdoor one. I think my buddy John, he sent me a picture of his backyard and he had one of those where the smoker was sitting outdoors, obviously, on a bench. And it was about that big. But I think it was a pellet smoker still, but it was a countertop one, an outdoor kitchen kind of one. C.F. Martin, pull up the ingredients on baby formula and read it to us. It's like a science lab diet. Isn't it incredible? That is criminal. Babies are born into ketosis, and then we give them that absolute garbage full of soy and seed oils and all sorts of crap we can't even pronounce. Criminal. Gosh, I wish I could go back in time and just feed my kids a proper human diet from birth, because it's so frustrating because those are the most important years. Their bodies are growing, their brains are growing, they're developing, and we're giving them seed oils, soy, sugar, ingredients we can't pronounce. People said that to me the other day. Why does it matter if you can't pronounce it? Because it's probably some chemical that we shouldn't be eating. It's not natural. Megan VR, hello, I'm back to 90% carnivore, 10% keto for the past 4 days after a heart scare at the hospital and being diagnosed diabetes. I know the power of carnivore, but fell weak to sugar. Working on it again. You can do it, Megan. You can do it. Set yourself a goal for 30 days and do 100% carnivore for 30 days. If you try to do 90% and 10% keto with a little bit of keto this, a little bit of keto snacks that, you are going to perpetuate your addiction to sugar, and you're going to make this so much harder than it has to be. If you do 100% carnivore, you will overcome those cravings and they will go away forever, forever. Just never go back to trying to moderate that sugar and carbs that you're addicted to. Diabetes doesn't have to be a thing. I have heard so many people that laughed at me and said, it was easy. I got rid of my diabetes in a couple of weeks. It was easy. You have to do it 100%. Write it down, commit to 30 days, you can do it. Question for your oldest daughter, even if she isn't on camera, will she go to your events and movie premiere? Yes, but she'll hide from the camera there too. She just doesn't want to be on camera at all, ever. She came to, she was here at our Dr. Hampton meetup. I think she was helping behind the counter. 5-year carnivore farmer. I buy fat trimmings and sear them. That is a great tip. I was at the butcher shop at the grocery store. It was a Festival Foods, and power tip. Here's another power tip. I don't know if I have this on the list. Don't be shy. These people that are working at the meat market, your butcher shop, unless you go in there and they're super busy, a lot of times they're standing around, they're just kind of bored. The place I went to, the guy wanted someone to talk to. I just said, do you have any fat trimmings? He's like, I don't think so. Well, let me go look. And then he went in the back and he cuts them up for me. I paid $2. I got some really good fat trimmings. I brought those home. I diced them up like I was talking to our 15-year-old friend earlier. I put them in the air fryer. I got some little fat chunks to go with my ground beef and with my steaks that aren't quite as fatty. Those little fat chunks is one of the best things for you. Power tip number 7, Maggie, Rancher Maggie, that's what she does. She's been eating this way for 65 years. We should take some wisdom and advice from someone that has mastered something for 65 years. Every morning for breakfast, Maggie pulls out the fat, chops it up with a big cleaver, cooks it in a cast iron skillet, and she eats it with the ground beef or the meat or the eggs or anything she's eating. It's all about the fat. Diana, oh, how do you cook chuck roast? I cook it in a slow cooker personally, maybe Instapot. Question, will you ever go to the East Coast to New Jersey or Pennsylvania? I'm sure at some point we will, Susan. I don't have any immediate plans for the documentary to do that. We were in Boston filming Professor Seifried a while back. The thing is, we're doing this documentary, Healing Humanity, the Power of a Proper Human Diet. If you guys want to learn more, please visit healinghumanity.movie. But after the movie, we're doing the subsequent series. And that subsequent series, I truly believe, is going to go on forever. I'm not going to stop. So many crazy, incredible stories of healing are coming out of the woodwork the further I get. It's making doing this documentary very hard. We've already filmed 30 people, and then I get another incredible story, and the person has their medical records, and it's like a miracle. I'm like, we have to document that, but the documentary is going to be 17 hours long if we keep doing it. So at some point, I'm sure we'll be in New Jersey or Pennsylvania as we continue filming for the subsequent series afterwards. Casey Lee said, anyone ever walk into the grocery store and all you can see now is inflammation and addition, and 99% of the people there. 100% I'm with you. And it's not like a bully thing or I'm judging anyone. I'm more so judging my former self. And I'm sad. I'm sad for the people, and they're addicted and they don't know any better. And if I told them about my diet, they think that I'm eating unhealthy. Meanwhile, their body's riddled with inflammation that's only going to lead to disease, illness, headaches, aches and pains, and sickness and brain fog. It's so sad. Luckily, a lot of people are catching on the positive side. And with our documentary, hopefully we can inspire some more people. Hula Shack. I bought 2 of Emma. That's my daughter, for those of you that don't know. I bought 2 of Emma's tallow whipped body cream, and it's excellent. Makes skin feel like silk. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Emma and my daughter Katie started this skincare line. It is, oh, I'm going to mess it up. They're going to get mad. I'm a carnivore, compassionate carnivore. Store if anyone's interested. I'm really proud of them. They did this whole thing by themselves. They've set up their own website by themselves. They didn't ask me for any help whatsoever. Actually, they're sending out a couple samples to some of their favorite YouTube channels right now too. They took over the basement in the movie theater. They're sending those things out to people. They're going to have those at the Montello Theater meetup on October 12th. But if anyone's interested, go check it out. Getting some really good reviews from people. That's pretty cool. CompassionateCarnivore.store. Okay. Hooligan Fish. Oh, for those looking for the shopping app where you can find discounts, they said it's called Flip. I haven't tested that one yet, but they're saying FLIPP. Someone said there's a meetup with Dr. Wiedemann and Dr. Kiltz next weekend in New Jersey. That is awesome. Tip from Hoosier Carnivore Bread: if you're thinking about starting carnivore and not excited about just eating meat, spoil yourself and have your favorite steaks, seafoods, or whatever you gets you motivated. Just start 100%. And I'll add to that tip. If you can't wrap your brain around the idea of eating only meat for 30 days, reframe it in your brain. You are simply doing an elimination diet for 30 days. For 30 days, you're going to refuse to be poisoned anymore. You're going to refuse to consume toxins, pesticides, poisons, sugars, highly inflammatory seed oils. You're going to cut all those things out of your diet for 30 days. It's the same thing as telling yourself you're eating only meat, but when you reframe it that way, it is a lot easier to digest or stomach. No pun intended. Topo Chico is on sale at Stop and Shop this holiday weekend. Oh, there you go. The only place I've ever found it was Costco in the glass jars anyway. But then we went to Alaska and they only had it in plastic jars. Cups. Bottles, I should say. Josh Edward, we recently went to a birthday party and the people who put it together kept handing my wife and I pizza and cake, and we said, no, we're good. We're proud, and they did not understand. Laugh out loud. Good job abstaining, Josh Edward. That is awesome. Yeah, it's so annoying, family get-togethers and stuff like that. People that know what I'm doing, too, they'll still do it. Oh, come on, you can have one. And you know what that is? That is some sort of reverse projection where they're feeling bad about what they're doing, and they want to bring some other people along for the ride. I don't think it's intentionally they're being mean people, probably partially subconsciously, but I think that's what's going on. AB Cali tip: I keep beef fat trimmings that I get from my butcher for free in the freezer, cut into bite-sized pieces and toss into the air fryer with salt when I feel hungry for a snack. It is incredible. Power tip right there. That is a good one. I wish I knew that on day one of Carnivore because I didn't find that months later. The other thing I didn't know day one on Carnivore, the power of the air fryer. Shout out Dante Ferrigno. He was talking about it for months, and I was bullheaded. And I'm like, I'm not going to ruin my steak in an air fryer. I was like a snob, and I was so stupid. Air fryer is incredible. Game changer on Carnivore. Cook up bacon perfectly. Middle of winter, I don't want to go outside, fire up the smoker. Just throw a steak in there, cook it from scratch. Air fryer is excellent. Instapot comes a close second for me as well. Vicky George said, tip: if you or your friends or family are feeding a baby formula, try Kendamil Organic. Ingredients you can pronounce, and although not ideal, tons better than Enfamil and Similac, and costs less too. Here's a good tip. Thank you. Baby formula ingredients are so scary. Time Traveler Karen said, little Daisy is so precious. I will show you guys some new pictures real quick, but I'm going to keep reading these. Oh, here we go. I could not get any work done today. Oh, I was drinking Topo Chico earlier today. Here we go. I'll show you real quick. And Jen's here and wants to say hi, right, Jen? There's a little Daisy. This was earlier today. I was trying to edit a YouTube video. Isn't she cute? I can't get any work done. She just sits all over the keyboard. He. I keep calling her she. Sits all over the keyboard. What you doing? So yeah, there you go. I keep calling it a her, and when I was with Bill and Bill's Daisy, I kept calling Bill's Daisy a her as well. Jen, come over here and say hi. Everyone wants to say hi to you. Sherry Morgan, do you think people are cold turkey soon after starting carnivore, confused withdrawals, thinking carnivore is not working? Do you think some people are cold turkey too soon? Yeah, that could be, Sherry Morgan. Some people do the standard American diet. They eat a bunch of junk sugar, and then they quit cold turkey, and then they go on carnivore, and they suffer. They have withdrawal a lot more, and then they maybe think carnivore is not working. I definitely think that is probably something that's happening. My wife, Jen, struggled. She just walked by when she first went carnivore. The second time she did it, which she's been doing for like 150 days now, she did keto, and she eased into it more, and that helped her a lot more. I always tell people, just realize if you are suffering your first 2 or 3 weeks on carnivore, going through some withdrawal, keto flu in the bathroom a lot, that is not forever. It is very temporary, and you're very close. And once you get over that hump, you'll feel a lot better. Been on carnivore. Cyrus, thank you so much for all these super chats. Been on carnivore 106 days, taking electrolytes, almost 2 pounds of fat, beef, salt to taste, element, keto chow, bacon, and eggs, but having brain fog after day 8 on carnivore. Day 8 on carnivore. Took butter out, made me cough. I'm confused because you said 106 days carnivore, but you're having brain fog after day 8 on carnivore.
Maybe she meant 108 days.
I'm not sure what you mean there, but if you mean after day 8 on carnivore, I would say you got to give it a little bit more time. I think it was a couple weeks before my brain fog lifted. Now, on carnivore, I've been doing it for 530 days. How many days did you got to look it up real quick? Do you know? 530 days. I have had a couple bouts of brain fog once or twice, and every time that happened for me, it was when I inadvertently consumed some seed oils. I believe that's what happened. It would happen after I'd go to a restaurant, I would order a steak, and I would say, don't use any seed oils, don't use anything. We went on a family vacation. I said, don't use anything, and I knew instantly, like the next day, my depression started coming back. My anxiety and the brain fog started coming back when I inadvertently ate something I shouldn't have. So maybe look out for something like that, Cyrus. And thank you so much for the super chat. Michael Rothwell, $10. Thank you so much. Thanks for the advice, everyone. Been carnivore since February, feeling terrific. Congratulations, Michael. Thank you for that super chat. Jen, how are you doing?
Good.
Did you just clean the whole movie theater without me?
I do all the time.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're busy here. We work together. That's what carnivores do.
How's your carnivore journey going?
Good.
What is your carnivore tip? You need to give a carnivore power tip. I had a whole bunch of them, and the audience had way better ones than I even had. I'm still going down. I'm going to read the rest if there's any more.
You always catch me off guard. I'd have to think about
What's helped you the best?
Going slow. Not forcing yourself to eat something you don't want. I still don't like eating steak, so I eat burgers. So just go slow is my tip.
Baby steps.
I heard him say while I was in the other room that this is my second time doing carnivore. The first time I struggled because I went too quick. And I starved myself for a full week because I couldn't take the smell or taste or look of meat. And I just had to start slow. So I did baby steps, and I look just now, it's 161 days. So I'm doing it. Anybody can do it. Hello, everybody. Sorry. I was upstairs. I was talking to some of you, and then I got busy with stuff. So
you did the baby steps, and now you're how many days on carnivore?
161.
161. Wow.
Sorry. Emma's calling.
And you're doing a lot of eggs, a lot of burger patties,
a lot of butter,
ground beef, a lot of butter.
Yep.
How's it working?
I don't eat very much. I really don't. I fast during the day, and I'll maybe eat at 2 o'clock or something, and I'll be good with a couple of burgers. If I get hungry, I'll go in the fridge and eat some butter. But yeah, it's been going well because I have a lot of energy. Like right now, I've been going all day. I'm down here. I clean the theater, and I'm just want to keep going. So I love that.
What do you say to B Bunch, who says, I keep falling weak to sugar. I did 100% carnivore last year for 4 months, and I felt great. I fell off over the holidays, and I still have not gotten back on the wagon fully yet. Just did 5 days strict, but.
but what?
Keeps falling off, falling to sugar, sugar,
okay.
sugar, sugar.
You know, not everybody's Carrie where they can just keep going and not have a fall off day or a cheat day or a oops day. You know your body. If you know that sugar is not good for you and not making you feel good, put that out of your mind. I was listening to Carrie before when I was upstairs. He was saying, you look at something, you say poison, in your head, and you think, oh my gosh, I shouldn't eat that. Sugar is poison. It is not good for you. It's not sustainable. It doesn't make you feel good. I'm sorry you fell off the wagon. Just keep going. Like, just baby steps,
And that's great advice. Just do it.
Bill.
Do it. No, commit to 30 days, Bee Bunch.
Yes.
Don't do this 4 days, 3 days. Oh, maybe I'll do carnivore again. Put it on your calendar. Put a thing on your phone that counts down from 30 days. And you can do anything for 30 days. People say to me, oh, you got such willpower. No, I don't. I'm either going to do it or I'm not going to do it. Do it or don't do it. Well, and don't do carnivore, Bee Bunch, 99%, and then have a little bit of sugar here or Diet Coke, like I was saying earlier, because you're going to continue to have these sugar cravings. If you're falling weak to sugar, you probably haven't abstained from it fully. You still got a little in your system and you got the taste for it. Just like an alcoholic would want a little bit of beer unless they fully quit that thing. So commit to 30 days strict.
4 months and you felt great. So go off of that. How you felt great. So keep going. You can do it. What happens if you don't do it?
Bee Bunch, where are you 5 years from now when you're eating sugar every day and your body's chronically inflamed from eating that sugar and you got aches and pains and headaches, pre-diabetic?
The brain fog.
Brain fog.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comments, Jen. You got to help me next time.
You guys all know what I'm really excited for. I don't know if you guys talked about it because I had to jump off a few times. Is the meetup. Why am I so excited? I get to meet Dr. Kiltz. He's been my favorite since the beginning. What did he say, Carrie? I'm in, by the way. I'm sorry if that's not an ask.
Well, I asked him, I said, I don't want to put you on the spot, but will you be in the documentary?
I said, he's my favorite since that. So I'm very, very excited. Not to mention all the other people that will be here and all the people that I'm going to be meeting. I know Robin's coming. I cannot wait to see you. Who else said they were coming?
Carnivore brother Ashley, you get to meet him?
Ashley, I didn't get to meet him, so I'm excited for that. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be coming. So, hello, Susan. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Oh, Sherry's clarifying. I meant, she said, I'm sorry, I didn't clarify. I meant cold turkey medication and alcohol withdrawals can last years. Yeah, I think you're probably right on that. People that quit their medication improperly or cold turkey then still have issues with it from not properly weaning off. So there's two issues there. You could still have withdrawals and the cravings and stuff like that, and you can really cause some issues if you quit, in particular SSRI, antidepressant medication quickly. Could turn you into a zombie, can really cause some issues that way. So just do it properly. Let's see what else we got here. Bill's still in the chat. Jen, say hi to Bill.
I was saying hi to Bill.
What are you thinking of little Daisy, Jen?
I love him.
I keep calling her.
Yeah, you do.
I'm going to do it forever.
I love him. Did you show pictures?
I showed a picture.
Everybody's in love with him. Like, he will just, when he's literally a baby. When he gets tired after he's got his zoomies out, he needs his naps, he will cry and cry and cry until you let him go up on your shoulder, up on your chest here, and he will fall asleep. And then he'll wake up and he'll want to play and he'll have his zoomies and then he'll eat. He's carnivore. We got him carnivore.
You know how much I screwed up the other day? So I mentioned I was making brisket. I made brisket. Mm-hmm. I had brisket. I gave little Daisy like the tiniest. It looked like a little,
sliver.
Like a, not even a, what was that? A Tic Tac? It was smaller than a Tic Tac size piece of this really tender brisket. And she just kept coming. He just kept coming back, bagging and bagging and bagging.
That was your.
And that was the other day, and now I had some more of it today, and he just kept crying and crying. So little Daisy is a full-born addicted carnivore that likes the good stuff.
He fights with his big sister. So Sweet Pea is Emma's cat. He fights with her to eat her food. He's
a warrior, and now he's got a taste for the good smoked brisket, 20-hour smoked brisket. That's all he wants to eat now.
Spoiled cats.
Catherine, $7. Thank you so much. Bacon puffs and pork rinds, salt and lard. That's all. Helps sometimes. There you go. Bacon puffs. I don't think I've had bacon puffs.
I've never heard of that. What is bacon puff, guys?
I don't know.
Can you let us know?
Hey, it's my friend Violet, The Road to Health and Keto and Carnivore Done Right. She's got a great YouTube channel. That tells you how addictive medication is. We're given these meds with no advice about the fact that they are addictive. Yeah. Oh, I have heard some horror stories in that regard. Yeah. Some of these benzo medications that people are put on, they're not even told like how crazy, life-ruining addictive they are. Mm-hmm. That is maybe something that you should go into the pros and cons of taking one of these chemicals. Mm-hmm. I was on all of those. I always show people this, and this isn't even all of my pills. Most of this was for the depression and anxiety. They just kept switching the medication and trying more stuff, giving me stuff for sleep. Is that the cat's permanent name, Little Daisy? It's actually Lil Daisy. It is in my book. They call him Georgie. Little Daisy. Georgie's the middle name.
It's Georgie.
Little Daisy Georgie.
Georgie. Old Dutch brand bacon puffs. Okay, where do you buy those? You see that one? Next one down, yeah. Old Dutch brand bacon.
I've heard of Old Dutch brand. I don't know. I haven't seen those before. Archangel question, have you ever heard of a butter fast? Was thinking about doing an alternate day fasting and on the fast day doing a butter fast. I heard Dr. Boz talking about it. Thoughts? I have not heard of that, but Dr. Boz is awesome. I have heard of her sardine fast, which is what Bill is undertaking, which he's having incredible results from. But I haven't heard of the butter one. Hey, it's our friend, Kayaking Grandma Kelly.
Kelly
came out to our house and stayed in our Airbnb. I just got on, don't know what you're talking about, but I forgot to tell you the other day that I took tons of turmeric before carnivore to help my joints. It never helped, but corn cured my joint issues. Ah, so the turmeric didn't help, but carnivore helped your joint issues. That's really cool.
Kelly is awesome. Oh, yeah. She's amazing.
Kayaking Grandma Kelly. That was awesome. So she came, she stayed in our Airbnb. We got to have a talk outside. It was really fun.
Mm-hmm. And I got to show her the whole movie theater.
You gave her a tour, a little history tour of the movie theater. We love showing people the movie theater. If anyone is ever in Montello, come on out or contact us first because we're only open on weekends right now.
Yeah, she's amazing. Go check out her channel. She was a lot of fun.
CF Martin, never make pemmican. I bought a 5-gallon bucket of grass-fed beef tallow from Wellness Meats, but haven't made any yet. Perfect survival food. I haven't made that yet. That's cool, though. Okay, one other power tip I have on my list. I think we got more than 10. The title of the video was Top 10 Power Tips. Is share your journey. Engage with the carnivore community. Share your experiences and learn from others. Join a group. I'm not trying to upsell you on anything. Like I've said many times, there's free groups. There's Facebook groups you can join for free. There are some really good paid groups. We have our free Return to Nature group, Natural. And there's Meat Sisters on Facebook. There's a whole bunch of Facebook groups that are free. Bella's Steak and Butter Gang is awesome. I'm a member of Dr. Barry. And like Adam mentioned earlier, we have healinghumanity.life. It's still in beta now. We're testing it, but we got a bunch of people in there, and it has been a lot of fun. But surrounding yourself by positive, like-minded individuals you can bounce ideas off really, really helps. And if you're willing to put your story out there, you can inspire so many people just like Bill is. Bill is inspiring so many people with his story, and we relate to other people. So getting more stories out there is pretty awesome. Old Dutch Puffs across the street from the theater, not with chips, top shelf. Interesting. We'll have to take a look at that one. I didn't think there was anything across the street from the theater that we could have other than the hard-boiled eggs. Right. Major tips. Send this whole live stream to all your friends who have questions about carnivore. I have so many friends asking me questions and joining me on carnivore. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, please, if you guys enjoyed this, please share. We really appreciate it. Carrie, it's Mr. Bella now. Miss Bella now. That's right. Congratulations to Bella and Max. That's so exciting. Did you guys hear about Dr. Chafee? Dr. Chafee got engaged too.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Just joined a Facebook group for carnivore singles. There you go. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I think we covered more than 10 carnivore tips. This has been a lot of fun. I was thinking about more tips that I could provide, but you guys gave me ones that I didn't even think of. My favorite one, I'll just repeat because some new people jumped on, and this was given to us by a member on our members only live stream, and that is come up with a mantra or something like we were talking about before. If you see some junk food that you used to be addicted to, poison, poison, poison. You have to make new roads in your brain. Those neural pathways get so deep. That's why I do the thankful, grateful, blessed. Come up with your own mantra. If you say it over and over again, you will manifest it. It will happen. It'll come about. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate you. Thank you for all the super chats. If anyone wants to learn more, or if you want to share your story in our documentary, we are forever taking more and more stories because, like I said, I think the series will go on forever. Visit healinghumanity.movie. Healinghumanity.movie.
Goodbye, Bill. Bye, everybody.
Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody. Glad I saw you for a couple minutes.
Beep, beep, beep.